Dave Hunter Classic and our Thursday doubleheader as the South Paulding Spartans take on the Dunwoody Wildcats. And good afternoon. I'm Matt Stewart, joined by Chris Millman. And Chris, interesting matchup here for our first game of the day. South Paulding coming off a 3-8 season last year under first-year head coach Maurice Allen, who's starting a second season. But they're a very talented team, ranked as high as 10th in the Score Atlanta 5A top 10 rankings. Dunwoody coming off an 8-3 season under Mike Nash. It was their first winning season since 2011 and the first time they'd made the playoffs since 2009.
Well, one thing that jumps out at me here today is the records from last year are thrown out the window. There is a lot of energy from both clubs on the field here today during pregame. I know Coach Allen over here at South Paulding is very excited about his team here. He's going into his second year this year. He's got his new regime kind of in place now. These kids are ready. They understand this program. Should be very interesting today.
You see the coin toss is presented by Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office. We have both quarterbacks out there. Number 4, Matt Perch for Dunwoody. Number 13, Cade Wigginton for South Paulding. Should be a very interesting matchup in the quarterback battle.
Well, if you like quarterbacks, this is the game for it today because these two guys both have the look and feel of premier prospects. I know both of them are having some college looks here right now. They're going to be very, very interesting today to watch. These first games of the season, you never really know what you're going to get from an offensive standpoint, but when you have some, veteran quarterbacks who can jump in there and lead the way, could put up some points.
Yeah, Wigginton was a starter a year ago as a sophomore and now starting his junior season. Already has offers from Troy, UNLV, and Austin Peay, while Matt Perch threw 16 touchdown passes, just 3 interceptions last year. He has no college football offers, but he's committed to Yale to play baseball.
Well, for those folks that are at home today, when you see these guys on tape, it really will jump out at you, their athletic ability that both of these guys have. Our quarterback over here on Dunwoody, like Matt said, he's a baseball guy, but he's got a cannon for an arm, which really translate here to football.
South Paulding won the opening toss and deferred, so Dunwoody will be on offense first. The other big story here today is it's currently 89 degrees. The heat index is 93. Could be a war of attrition for both of these teams before the day is over.
Well, it's what both coaches talked about here this week is that you have a 4:30 kickoff. It's the first game of the season. What's that conditioning level going to look like? How are they going to be able to handle the heat? How are they going to be able to handle all that has to come here with the first game of the season?
And you see the game time weather is presented by Personal Touch Lawn Care. So just about ready to get started here. Let's send it down to Kaylee Mansell, who caught up with both of the coaches before the game.
And this is the pregame show. I'm Kaylee Mansell, and it's time for our coaches interview. Brought to you by Inglet and Stubb. I'm joined by Mike Nash of Dunwoody and Maurice Allen of South Paulding. Coach Nash, I want to come to you first. You've been with this program for a decade now. Absolutely. What is it about this team that's different than all the teams in the past?
Number one, this is our second team that actually went through our feeder program. And this group of seniors is just a fantastic group. They love each other, they care about each other, and it's genuine. And they put the work in. They've earned the right to be here.
Coach Allen, you return a veteran quarterback in Cade Wigginton, who had a terrific sophomore season. What have been the biggest adjustments that he's made in the offseason?
Biggest thing is just taking charge of the offense. We challenge him every day to be a little bit more of a vocal leader. He does everything right in the weight room, but we challenge him to get on his guys and coach him, be an extension of our coaching staff, and he's really taken that challenge and add to his game and really got better.
Coach Nash, last year your defense held 6 teams to 7 points or fewer. How do you even begin to expand on that this year?
Well, we got a lot tougher schedule this year. We schedule tougher because we want to be ready to try to take the next step in the playoffs, and I think this is a great game to start off with. We've got a quality opponent. It's going to be hard to live up to those stats. So.
Coach Allen, a quarterback is nothing without the big guys protecting him on the offensive line. You've got 2 that are D1 prospects. What's it like to have that consistency and stability on the offensive line, and how does that help your offense stay more comfortable?
It's amazing to have those big guys up front.
Lighten up.
Yeah, definitely. They do everything for us, and we challenge them every day at practice. We tell them that the offense goes through them, and they try to be leaders up there for us, and they really know that we're going to establish the run game first and lean on them heavy.
Coach Allen, Coach Nash, I wish you both the best of luck. Excited to have you here at the Corky, Kell, Dave Hunter Classic. Now, kickoff is coming up soon, so make sure to stay where you're at. We'll be right back after the break.
Beginning the morning you opened your eyes, we spent every waking moment preparing you for the day you'd leave our nest. Whether it's driving to practice or helping with homework, it's all prepared you for, what am I going to be when I grow up? Will you be ready?
After much thought, I made my decision to take my talents to the IBEW Local 613.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers is not simply a job, it's a career. Visit IBEW613.org to begin a new future today.
Great teams are committed, focused on the details, and work hard to be their best. From practice to games, right down to their gear. Your field is a critical part of the game that allows your athletes to showcase their athletic abilities. Sports Turf is committed to bringing your team innovative sports surfaces with unparalleled performance. You bring the vision. Our team brings it to life.
The Mechanical Trades Institute wants to provide apprentices with a pathway that promises rewarding, hands-on work through a completely free education. There are many post-secondary options for students and young adults, and we want them to consider the skilled trades as one of those options. This is not only a job, but a free education and a lifelong career. We want you to start your future at the Mechanical Trades Institute.
For a healthier future together, look to Northside Hospital.
And back at West Forsyth High School, ready for the opening kickoff. South Paulding in the white, trimmed in maroon and gold. Ready to kick things off as George Lucio has it teed up and ready to go. Dunwoody in the blue and white helmets with Cranshaw and Madison standing deep for Dunwoody. First ever meeting between these two teams comes here in the Corky, Kell, Dave Hunter Classic. Thanks for joining us. Well, a lot of excitement. What's really interesting, Chris, is to hear the optimism and enthusiasm in the voices of these coaches as they kick off a new season.
Oh, both these coaches were definitely excited this week to kick it off, and I'll be honest, I am too. Let's go.
Kick's going to be taken by Cranshaw as he goes to the opposite side of the field. Cranshaw going to reach the 35-yard line where he's dropped right there by the special teams from South Paulding. Let's take a look at the offensive starters for the Dunwoody Wildcats, led by their quarterback, number 4, Matt Perch, and number 2, Malachi Cranshaw, is getting the start at running back today.
Well, you'll
brought
notice
to you by the Rome Floyd Chamber.
You'll notice pretty quickly we got some big guys here on this offensive line.
Matt Perch, 6'2", 200 senior. He's a good-looking quarterback and a great baseball prospect. Not only a commitment to Yale to play baseball, but also getting looks by Major League Baseball teams as a potential MLB draft pick next summer. So 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line. Empty backfield. Perch going to go to the air on the first play. Here comes the pressure from Huey off the edge. Jeremiah Huey, the 6'1", 170 senior, brought the pressure off the edge and made contact with the quarterback as he was throwing.
Well, this is one thing that Coach Nash did talk about this week at Dunwoody. He is a little concerned about the offensive line. They have a little bit of depth issues. They've had an injury at center, so they've had to kind of juggle a few things around. Obviously, they're on that first play, not much time for the quarterback to make a good throw.
Yeah, the injury at center is the quarterback's brother, Grant Perch, the sophomore, suffered a foot injury. He's unavailable today as the handoff goes to Cranshaw, and he runs his way up to the 42-yard line, picks up about 6 on the play.
Cranshaw's got a nice little wiggle to him, and that's one of the things that we watched here this past week as we were getting ready for this game. He's got a little bit of burst, he's got a little wiggle, and you saw it there on that play.
3rd down, line to gain is the 46. Play action, throw out here to the sideline, and Hamilton incomplete. Hamilton was the intended target, and it's going to be 4th down.
Well, you could see on that throw, on that screen play, again, quarterback not a whole lot of time. He had to get rid of it. He tried to wait for the play to develop a little bit, had to release it probably a little bit earlier than he'd like. Led to incomplete pass and 4th down.
So Jermaine Tyler is standing deep for South Paulding back at the 24-yard line.
Special teams in high school football is always interesting and always fun to watch, but even more so here in these early season matchups.
High punt's going to hit at the 30 and bounce sideways and backwards in favor of South Paulding, and it's going to be downed at the 37. So South Paulding, first time they're going to go on offense with pretty good field position.
Well, as I was mentioning there, special teams, especially early in the season, can really swing a game one way or the other. It is so critical here in these early season matchups to control the punt game and the kick game and whatnot and get a little bit out of your kickers and your punters.
Cade Wigginton, who threw 16 touchdown passes a year ago as a first-year starter as a sophomore, now starting his second season here as the junior quarterback.
I mean, this guy threw for 1,700 yards last year. He can throw it.
Handoff goes to the tailback, Albert McCoy, who gets about 8, close to 9 on the play. Albert McCoy got a big offensive line to run behind.
Well, he does. And this Albert McCoy now, he's a workhorse. They will hand him the ball. He'll be out there. He's a 3-down back. That will not be his last carry of this game, believe me.
2nd down and 1. They've got 3 college prospects on that offensive line with great size, led by Jay Sanker, the brother of Madden Sanker. Might remember him. He's now a redshirt freshman at Louisville, and that's going to be a first down run for Wigginton to the 50-yard line. Picks up 3 on the play.
Quarterback design run. They wanted to kind of get him out in space a little bit and had him run. It was a nice play.
Yeah, he's thick. He's got great size. He's really worked hard in the weight room during this offseason. Can squat close to 500 pounds, and you can tell in his legs he's a good runner.
Well, when we talked to Coach Allen this week at South Paulding, when we started talking about the quarterback, one of the first things he said to us was he has the ability to run, and there he is, the second play of the game, design run play for him.
1st and 10, ball at the 49-yard line. Wigginton looks, pump fakes one way and looks the other. Throws downfield, and it's going to be caught at the 36-yard line by McCoy for a first down.
Well, nice patience by Wigginton there to kind of let the play develop a little bit. It gets out to the right side outside of the pocket and makes a nice throw.
So that's 2 big plays now for McCoy, 1 running, 1 receiving.
Well, you can see his experience is already showing up here on this first drive. I mean, there's no sense of urgency. He seemed pretty calm there to make that last play.
1st and 10 from the 36. McCoy gets the rock again, and McCoy is going to be dropped at the 34. Picks up 2 that time. Harrison Flint made the tackle for Dunwoody.
Matt, you talked about this offensive line earlier. It's going to be really interesting as we get into the later part of this game if this offensive line is really able to wear down that Dunwoody defense.
We mentioned Jay Sanker already. You see him right there, number 70, 6'4", 285, and he's just a junior. 2nd down and 8. And a whistle from the sideline. And we're going to have an illegal procedure call coming up here against South Paulding. I didn't see anybody move.
No, I didn't either.
Before the snap. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. We'll repeat the down.
Don Benkin is your referee today, and there's the rest of the officiating crew working this Corky, Kell, Dave Hunter Classic. Is brought to you by the Georgia Department of Highway Safety.
Well, we might get a chance to see Wigginton's arm here.
Rolling to his left, he's being chased and throws complete. Dropped at the 40-yard line. Jack Corson had the ball in his hands, looked upfield, and left the ball behind.
Well, that's going to set up a 3rd and 15. Now, as we've gone into these passing plays here on this first drive, a lot of their throws they've been doing with Wigginton have been outside of the pocket. So it looks like they're really trying to leverage his legs to kind of get outside and make some plays either with his arm or with his legs.
Starting lineups brought to you by Rome Floyd Chapter. So 3rd down and long. Ball is at the 39-yard line. Wigginton with protection throws deep to the far side and incomplete. Looking for Tyler over there at single coverage, and it's going to be 4th down.
Well, it looked like Tyler might have had a step on him, but it looked like he had a little bit of hesitation, what kind of threw the timing off of that route. Now they're going to set up fourth down. They're going to bring on the punt team here.
Either that, they're going to go for it on 4th and 13. This is out of field goal range for George Lucio, who's about 30 and in as far as the comfort range for him. So they're going to punt.
Well, as we were talking about before, it'll be interesting here. Can we, special teams, how critical it is, can they pin them down inside the 10 here on this punt?
Wyatt Hardy is going to punt. He's standing on the other side of the 50. End over end kick. And a running sliding catch at the 17-yard line by Boden. And that's where Dunwoody's going to go on offense for the second time. And we'll step aside as they come on the field, and we'll continue in just a moment.
If you live in rural America and want better high-speed internet at home, say hello to the new HughesNet.
Hi! Now I can video conference with confidence.
Yes! The new HughesNet is Jupiter-powered with unlimited data and faster speeds than ever before.
Now I can stream up anything I can dream of.
Now you can do it all. Connect, stream, and play. Call today to get free professional installation and exclusive offers. Call 1-800-736-7315.
Ingles, all the ingredients for family.
The nation's hottest sport. See what the buzz is about on Peachtree Sports Network, where the Atlanta Dream look to eclipse the Connecticut Sun. Dream Sun, Sunday at 3 on Peachtree Sports Network.
Back in Cumming, Georgia, just underway here. First quarter in the Corky, Kell, Dave Hunter Classic. We played 3.5 minutes. Matt Stewart, Chris Millman. What you think about South Paulding? First possession, picked up a couple of first downs and drove into Dunwoody territory.
Well, by no surprise, I really liked what the quarterback did. He made a couple plays with his legs. On that last third down throw, I felt like it was a pretty decent throw. His wide receiver hesitated a little bit, threw off the timing, but he looked pretty impressive there on that drive.
So let's see what Matt Perch is able to do here as he takes the offense out there for the second time. They went 3 and out on their first possession. Ball sitting at the 16-yard line, and the handoff stoned right there at the line of scrimmage. No running room whatsoever. Joachim Goda, the linebacker, making the stop.
They're playing with a little bit of edge on defense. Their defensive line has showed up here on these first two drives and making their presence felt.
So second down and roughly 12 now, 11 or 12 after losing yardage on that opening snap. Cranshaw splits out. They're going to wing the ball out there to him. Incomplete and a huge hit on the edge by Eddie Stafford.
Well, they blitzed on that play, got the quarterback again to get rid of the ball pretty quickly. I'll tell you what, the physicality is showing up pretty early here for South Paulding. Very, very impressive.
And if you're Malachi Cranshaw, you go back to the huddle and say, someone get a hat on that guy.
You're not kidding. You do not want to take too many hits like that in the season opener.
Third down and 11. And the play gets blown dead.
It looked like the referee might be saying it's on the defense. Lined up over the line.
Prior to the snap, I have encroachment on the defense. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. We'll repeat third down.
So their 3rd and 11, Chris, becomes a little bit more manageable 3rd and 6.
Yeah, and for the quarterback who's been taking a few hits here in these first couple drives, you're not upset by that. With with having a little bit of shorter down and distance to get rid of the ball quicker.
Perch threw 16 touchdown passes, just 3 interceptions last year as a junior. Sprinting out to his left with his pocket and throws downfield over the head of Hamilton. Had 2 men out there on him, and it's going to be 4th down.
Well, I did like the idea as far as the play design is concerned. You know, your offensive line has struggled a little bit handling the South Paulding defense. Let's get the quarterback outside. Let's move him around a little bit, try to give him a little bit of time. Unfortunately, that play really never developed, but the idea was there, and I did like it.
So Tyler is back there to receive the punt again.
Well, again, we talked about special teams earlier. We've gotten a number of punts here early.
Wobbly kick, and looks like the play was blown dead.
Well, it looks like it's on the defense. Which would set up maybe a 4.
Prior to the snap, I have encroachment.
Wow.
On the defense, it's a 5-yard penalty. It'll still be short, and we'll still have 4th down.
So 4th and 1 now. Don't know that changed.
Look at Coach Nash. He's changing. It looks like he's bringing the offense back out here for Dunwoody.
Yeah, on a 4th and 1. Going to roll the dice here from the 26-yard line.
This is a big decision here early in the season, deep in your own territory.
Or maybe you're out there just to bark them off sides.
That could be. They've done it twice, so maybe third time's a charm. Let's see what they do.
You see Luke Mitchell, they call him Moose. He's a lacrosse player here at Dunwoody as well. He is the center snapping the ball to Perch. And that's exactly what they wanted to do.
Coach Nash.
Perch gave him a sharp bark, and that was Huey who jumped off the edge.
Prior to the snap, encroachment. On the defense, it's a 5-yard penalty. It will result in a 1st down.
Well, Coach Nash gets my vote for Coach of the Week this week already because that was a heck of a decision. If you're Coach Allen South Paulding, you got to get a handle on your defensive line here. Come on now. 3 times in the same drive.
So 1st down and 10. Quick pass thrown short. And that's going to Boden, who's got a preferred walk-on offer from Tennessee.
You know, one thing I've noticed, today watching South Paulding, during warm-ups, lots of energy, lots of excitement. You could definitely tell they were juiced for this game. First drive, defense makes some plays. This is all great, but you got to be able to control your emotions at some point in time, and that's what's really led to some undisciplined penalties here early in this game.
I want to go back and correct myself. I don't know that it was Huey who jumped off that side on that 4th down play. It might have been Gouda, the linebacker. Anyway, a big play right here as Cranshaw busts through the line up to the 36-yard line. He gets 5.
I like that play call because, right now you have had some success running the football. That's going to set up a very manageable 3rd down now.
Yeah, they use Cranshaw and Celestine almost equally, but so far it's been all Cranshaw here in the 1st quarter. And their offensive coordinator, Mike Schmitz. Coach Nash had nothing but glowing things to say about his OC. Says just a really good job of mixing up packages, a lot of different sets and player formations. Hamilton, pass got broken up. Coming over the back, big play by Jermaine Tyler, their Agent Zero.
Yeah, listen, Jermaine, he's a great player. He's somebody this week that really jumped out at me as we were preparing for this game. This guy's all around the football at all times, and that really showed there on that play on 3rd down. Gets the defense off the field.
He's a senior wide receiver and defensive back, also punt returner, who's got an offer from Western Kentucky, but wears the very special 0 number. They call it Agent Zero. Tyler's going to have a chance to return from the 32. Slips 1 tackle. Now going back the other way, will not be able to escape that one as he goes down at the 32-yard line. That was Preston Cooper on the coverage to drop him right there, and that's where South Paulding is going to go on offense for the 2nd time as we take a look at the South Paulding resume. Well, we will in a moment after we watch the punt return.
Great tackle.
Head coach Maurice Allen in his 2nd season, 3-8 last year, made the playoffs last 2 seasons. They made it 7 of the last 11 years. Michael Carter and Miles Campbell, their notable alumni. It's brought to you by Smart Local 85. So back on offense for the Spartans. Handoff from Wiggins. Wigginton goes to McCoy, and McCoy picks up about 5 on the play to the 37. Let's call it 4 on the play to the 37.
I really like the way McCoy finishes his runs. That was one thing I noticed from last season going into this year. This guy's a finisher when he carries the football.
Following in the footsteps of Jamarian Wilcox, who's now a redshirt freshman running back at Kentucky. Second down, Wigginton rolling to his left, being chased off the edge and eludes the rush right there. Now coming back the other way and is able to scramble up to the 42-yard line and be about a yard short of the first down.
Well, again, another example how Wigginton has a very high level of confidence in his legs. You know, he has shown the ability that he can scramble, maneuver around the pocket. They've had some plays designed for him to run. I mean, he's no stranger to getting outside and running.
So 3rd down and 1 now from the 42. South Paulding has looked like the crisper, cleaner team so far here in the first quarter.
They definitely have. Now, this is when they need to run behind this big offensive line.
McCoy, big hole, first down, McCoy. Up to the 47-yard line, and that's a first down. Declan Gallagher might have saved a touchdown right there.
Well, again, they won on the left side, and for those at home, if you can get a look at the left side of this offensive line, these guys are not small.
Check out the Breda Sports Management sports ticker below. No scores really to fill it up just yet, as we're still early on Thursday, but as we go throughout the weekend, you'll be seeing the finals down there. Of course, a full weekend of high school football here on week 0 or week 1 in the Georgia High School Association. Timeout called by South Paulding.
Well, as we get near the first quarter, it's been an entertaining first quarter here. You know, you'd have to say we've seen a little bit of good and a little bit of not so good. But do you expect those kinds of things in these first games?
Yeah, absolutely. Penalties have been South Paulding's worst enemy right now. As you take a look at the Dunwoody resume, it's brought to you by Smart Local 85. Head coach Michael Nash in his 10th season, 8-3 a year ago, their first playoff appearance since 2009. Dexter Jackson, Corey White, and Harris Barton among the notable alumni of the Dunwoody Wildcats. They won a state championship back in 1993. Had a great run under then head coach David Kelly.
Well, for you NFL fans out there, that name Dexter Jackson will jump off the paper. Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah,
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, Dunwoody's had some great players come through the system. Harris Barton, a great offensive lineman for those super San Francisco 49ers teams.
He was a great player.
Yep. So 1st and 10, ball is at the 47-yard line for South Paulding. 5 minutes, 50 seconds left here in the first quarter. Empty backfield set for Wigginton. Going deep, and that is going to be incomplete. Matt Patchen, the intended receiver, and a flag is out on the play.
Wow. Well, that was a good-looking throw there by Wigginton, though. Again, showing his arm off.
Harrison Martin right there, the strong safety on the coverage. Let's check the call.
During the play, defensive pass interference. That'll be a 15-yard penalty. It results in a first down.
Well, Coach Nash at Dunwoody is not too happy with that call. He is over here giving the officials a piece of his mind.
So they will put the ball down at the 38, 1st and 10. Second time now in this quarter, Chris, that South Paulding has been in Dunwoody territory. McCoy again, and a great tackle out here, TFL, by that Dunwoody defense.
Little extracurricular activities there after the play. No flags. But both teams' physicality starting to show up a little bit. Dunwoody needed that. They needed a little bit of spark on defense.
That's Trevor Thomspon, number 14, the Jack linebacker, who got there first. Coach Nash says he is a special player. Those two linebackers, Cooper and Thompson, they're very excited about. Thompson's just a junior. Cooper's a senior. So 2nd down and long now as the ball's back at the 41, under 5 minutes to play in the quarter. Wigginton going deep again, and a jump ball incomplete. Cole Weissman, the intended target. He's a big target, 6'5", 175, and the younger brother of former Spartan star quarterback Kason Weissman, who's now at FAU.
Well, when you look at the replay here, this play was similar to the play that was called a couple plays ago that they got the flag on. And it looks like they just wanted to give him another opportunity. This time it was just over his head.
Yeah, Weissman at 6'5", 175. They really worked on him in the offseason, high pointing the pass. And that kind of size you just can't get every day. And that's Thompson again, another TFL for Trevor Thomspon, back-to-back here almost on this drive.
Well, I thought that was an interesting play call. At 3rd and 13, you hand the ball off to your running back. Clearly the defense smelled that one. They're going to bring on the punt team for 4th down.
Trevor Thomspon living up to the billing of his coach, Mike Nash. Showing off his stuff here in the first quarter with a couple of TFL. And after South Paulding had penetrated into Dunwoody territory, they drive him backwards and make him punt again.
Well, that physical play that they had there on that 2nd down changed the momentum a little bit for exactly what Dunwoody needed to get that stop there.
So 4th and 16.
Prior to the snap, delay game, offense, it'll be a 5-yard penalty. We will repeat 4th down.
So Wyatt Hardy now standing at his 35-yard line. Hardy angles for the right side here, and Boden takes it on the run, fumbled it out of bounds. Very dangerous play by Boden. He was trying to take it on the run, fumbles it out of bounds. Dunwoody retains possession and will take over about the 25-yard line. Wildcats back on offense when we get back.
A journeyman with Local 85, when you turn out, you can be hitting 6 figures.
Hey, I have your back, you have my back, we're gonna do this together. We're one for all for one.
College just wasn't for me. Let's look into actual career jobs that wouldn't take college, where I wouldn't, lose money and all that. Instead of losing a lot more money at the end, why not make money and make more money at the end?
Are you interested in becoming a deputy or a jailer? The Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office is hiring and looking for individuals passionate about protecting and serving their community. If you are 18 years or older, join our team by visiting gogcso.com for more information. Gwinnett County, together, we can make a difference.
The Georgia Sheet Metal JETC equips apprentices with the knowledge and skills required to start a rewarding career in the sheet metal industry with programs in HVAC, industrial welding, and testing, adjusting, and balancing. Training is 100% free and allows apprentices to earn as they learn. Journeymen graduate with no student debt and have the potential to earn more than most college graduates. Visit our website to learn more about this opportunity at careersinsheetmetal.com.
The GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com Corky, Kell, Dave Hunter Classic is sponsored by Northside Hospital, your source of strength. The Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office. Serve and protect through dedication, professionalism, and active cooperation with the community. Smart Local 85. Sheet metal is a smart move. Gatorade. Fuel tomorrow. And by Score Atlanta, your source for Georgia high school sports.
Back in coming, Georgia, 3:45 to play here in the opening quarter. South Paulding and Dunwoody scoreless as the Wildcats go on offense for the 3rd time today. Matt Stewart and Chris Millman. And Matt Perch has started the game 0 for 6 passing the ball.
Yeah, I think he's had a hard time getting.
Let's see if that ball is going to be ruled incomplete. You can see the official immediately ruling incomplete, but he was hit as he was throwing and the ball popped out.
I was just in the middle of saying, let's see if he can get some time to throw the ball a little bit, and unfortunately that's something that he has not had a whole lot of today.
Levi Russell, number 33, ends up with the ball on that play.
South Paulding's defensive line has been the difference so far in this game. Unfortunately, they've had a couple of untimely penalties, but outside of the penalties, these guys have been a handful all day for Dunwoody.
2nd down and 10. That was Hamilton in motion. They throw out here complete. First time they've been able to get the ball to Porter Allison or anybody for that matter. And a short completion. It's going to be 3rd down.
Well, unfortunately, I think that's the kind of play that they need to do. They got to get a few of those probably to get a little bit of momentum before they can start looking down the field. I mean, he just doesn't have time to throw the football.
Yep. And they were concerned about the offensive line, especially with the injury to Grant Perch and how they've had to shake things up a little bit. Luke Mitchell, who was their starting right tackle, is now starting at center today. Matt Perch goes deep on the far side, and it is broken up.
What a great play that was.
Super play out there, and that ball stayed in the air a long time. Josiah James, the cornerback, breaks it up right there at the point it reaches the wide receiver.
Great play by Josiah. And it was a good-looking throw, and what they did is, with the quarterback there, they moved him around a little bit just to give him a little bit of extra time. He made a pretty good throw, but it was just a tremendous play by Josiah on that one.
Josiah James, 6'1", 185 junior, and it's
we have a flag, man.
Yeah, we do.
And a personal foul, roughing the passer on the defense. That is a 15-yard penalty and an automatic 1st down.
Wow. Dunwoody has not been very effective at moving the ball here in the first quarter. South Paulding has been effective in helping them move the ball through penalty.
Well, like I was saying earlier, I mean, South Paulding's defensive line has been the difference of this game in both positive and negative.
Yeah, no doubt. Too many penalties for them. They would have been in a much better situation. Too many penalties, one that gave them. That's the 2nd time they picked up a 1st down on what would have been. One was on a 4th down. This one would have been. And now we have another offside penalty right there.
Again, looks like.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
A lot of these penalties are just of the undisciplined variety, which you expect a little bit at the first game. But now, I mean, the wheels are really starting to come off already, and we're not even out of the first quarter.
7 penalties on South Paulding here in the first quarter. That was on Tyrone Pitts. So now it's going to be 1st down and 5. Let's see if Dunwoody can do something with that. Handoff goes to Cranshaw, and Cranshaw picks up 3 on the play up to the 50.
I like that play call. I think right now, if I'm Dunwoody, if I'm Coach Nash, I think I'm trying to really establish this run game. Let's get South Paulding on their heels a little bit. Maybe we do a little play action. But right now, they got to start trying to control this line of scrimmage up front.
Cranshaw at 5'8", 155, and a senior, really more of a scat back kind of running back. 2nd down and 3. Going to go to the air, and they run a screen out here to Allison, and that's going to be a 1st down.
Oh, nice looking play, a little wide receiver screen there.
I think that might be the first down that they've gained offensively and not by penalty.
I would agree with you on that. I think you're exactly right.
So 1st and 10 from the 45. First time that Dunwoody has been in South Paulding territory today. So since starting 0 for 6, Perch is now 2 for his last 3. Heavy pressure again, delivers to the far side and incomplete. Max Corderero was the intended target. And again, Josiah James out there running with him. Actually, this time it was Eddie Stafford who's the spear, kind of the hybrid. He's the nickel back.
Well, one thing we've seen here in this first quarter, too, both offenses are not afraid to try to throw the ball downfield. We've seen some deep shots from both teams a few times, showing off these quarterback big arms.
2nd down and 10. Cranshaw gets the ball again, and he picks up 4 on the play to the 41.
Again, I like that play call for Dunwoody, because now it sets up a manageable 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. Your playbook's kind of at your disposal here. when they have to become one-dimensional is when they're in trouble.
I wouldn't mind running the ball right here.
I agree.
I think you're in 4-down territory.
I agree.
Anyway.
I agree with you.
You might as well, if you feel like you can check into a run right here, you're in 4-down territory. Just don't take a loss. Going to go back to the air, heavy rush, and hit as he throws, and a man wide open and caught at the 20-yard line for a first down. Wow.
Referee saying incomplete. Is he saying catch or is he saying incomplete? I think he's saying incomplete.
Yeah, Cameron Aristorza made the catch, or so it appeared, but the officials sitting right there on top of it said it hit the ground. So now it is going to be 4th down. That was a heck of a throw by Perch because he was being dragged down from behind as he delivered the ball downfield.
It was a heck of an effort to get the ball away. The receiver was open, but it just looked like the ball didn't make it quite to him.
So 4th down, and they will go for it here.
Well, like you said, Matt, 4-down territory. They didn't run the run play, but they're going to call a timeout here and think about it.
And a timeout has been called by Dunwoody. Breda Pest Management knows your house inside and out with a customized treatment plan that stops any bugs and critters. Breda does it right, protecting the inside and outside of your home. It's the bugs inside your house that they want gone. Breda, they handle bugs and critters. All of the above.
You need that in Georgia.
No doubt. So 55 seconds left in the quarter, and a 4th and 6 coming up for Dunwoody. For the first time the entire day so far, we saw the offense get going a little bit there. And I thought, as you pointed out, it was the effective use of Cranshaw that kind of loosened things up for him a little bit.
Yeah, if I'm Coach Nash at Dunwoody, I'm really talking to my offensive coaches here is look, in this first quarter, we've seen our offensive line is having a handful here dealing with the defensive line. But our running game has had a few little spark plays, and Cranshaw's had some really nice runs here, 4, 5, 6 yards that have really set up some manageable down and distances for Dunwoody. So I think as we go into the second quarter, that's something they're going to have to continue to do.
Yeah, I've been impressed with the South Paulding defense so far. Jeremiah Hewley, Joakim Gouda, Eddie Stafford, Josiah James, Jermaine Tyler. They played well here in the first quarter. Now they're facing 4th down and 6 and trying to get off the field and get their offense back on. Perch right there and caught, first down. Nicely done by the receiver. Great route run by Boden. Just found a hole in the defense, set down in and let Perch get in the ball.
Well, good throw, good catch. Offensive line held up that time, was able to give the quarterback a little bit of time, made an accurate throw. First down on 4th down. How about that?
So 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line for Dunwoody, moving the ball here late in the quarter. Wide open, Boden. That's going to be a Dunwoody touchdown.
Well, what a great throw. What a great catch. It looks like there was a little bit of confusion in the coverage there for South Paulding. And my goodness, after this wild first quarter where South Paulding has controlled majority of this game, Dunwoody goes with the big play down the field, and they're on top here as we get close to the end of this first quarter.
32-yard touchdown pass, the scoring summary presented by Breda Pest Management. Christian Lee is their kicker. The holder is Porter Allison, and the snapper is Jake Jester. Trouble on the connection there, but he still gets it through.
What a job by the holder.
Yeah, Christian Lee is really good kicker, and a great job by Allison, the holder, to get that ball upright for him to kick it through. And a 7-0 lead for Dunwoody.
Well, I'll tell you, the quarterback made some plays that drive there for Dunwoody. They had that nice 4th down play followed by the throw down the field there for the touchdown. Dunwoody made some plays.
Here's a look at the schedule for the Dunwoody Wildcats. Next, they play at Pope next Friday. Their home opener, Region 4 5A opener, when they host Tri-Cities at North DeKalb Stadium. And that'll be on September 13th. And then Shiloh, as Coach Michael Nash goes up against his alma mater in their regular season finale. The big one, the only top 10 matchup they have on their schedule against Woodward Academy on October 11th. Also Lumpkin County, pardon me, that's also a top 10 matchup. Lumpkin County checking in at number 5 in 3A, and Woodward number 7 in 5A. So a 7-0 lead for Dunwoody on the touchdown pass from Matt Perch to Danny Boden. And it comes with 27 seconds to play in the quarter. Kick is coming down and a fall in the end zone. Beautiful kick by Christian Lee. Like I said, he's one of the strengths of their team. Boots it in the end zone, so they'll bring it out to the 20.
Well, it'll be interesting now as we go into this drive with South Paulding. You know, South Paulding has moved the ball here in the first half. Unfortunately, they just have kind of stubbed their toe as they've gotten onto the other side of the field and haven't been able to do much.
A great touchdown play right there as they finally clicked on offense. Took them a while, but they finally clicked on offense, and it was a penalty by South Paulding that finally kind of pushed them forward and got them going. So 1st and 10 from the 20. McCoy on the run trying to get to the edge and steps out of bounds at the 26.
I've noticed early on they love running behind that left side of the offensive line. I mean, obviously that's one of their strengths of the team. They have a couple of big guys there at the left tackle and left guard. You know, one of which is this Sanker who put on 23 pounds here this offseason. That's some good eating if you're putting on 23 pounds in an offseason.
You should have seen his brother. He was a beast. Madden, who's now at Louisville. That's a completion and down the sideline and out of bounds at the 47-yard line. As the ball goes to Colin Edwards with 10 seconds to play in the quarter and a first down. 2 big plays right away for South Paulding coming up in this possession. They've got it near midfield.
Well, it was a nice little screen play, a little play fake, and they get it out to the receiver and just let him go.
So 1st and 10 from the 48. Low snap. McCoy gets the handoff, crosses the 50, sheds a tackle at the 45, and McCoy down to the 40 on the final play of the first quarter. And just like that, South Paulding with an answer to the touchdown drive by Dunwoody.
Looks like we have a flag. Might be a holding. Might be coming back here.
Yeah, they might be bringing that back. You're right. Well, that's highly unfortunate for South Paulding. Again, continues a very familiar theme. Penalties have killed them so far in this game.
This first quarter, that has jumped off the page. And it is a holding.
So that'll be pushing them back to about the 35. So while they settle that, we'll step aside for the end of the quarter and come back and start the second.
NetCredit is here to say yes to a personal loan or line of credit, even when other lenders won't. Apply online in minutes and get funds deposited the next business day or sooner. Go to netcredit.com. NetCredit. Credit to the people.
You ever seen this? You ever seen that? You ever seen the Harlem Globetrotters live on TV? Well, now's your chance. For the first time in 40 years, the Harlem Globetrotters are showing off their skills right in your living room. Don't miss a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and don't miss whatever they call that move. The Harlem Globetrotters, live Sunday at 7, only on Atlanta's own Peachtree TV. Yeah, baby.
Set the record. The biggest WNBA game in Atlanta history. The Atlanta Dream looked to even the score against Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Get your tickets to the biggest dream game of the year and see why the WNBA is taking the nation by storm. Don't be left out when State Farm sells out. Monday, August 26th. Grab the hottest ticket in town now at dream.wnba.com.
So they're still trying to sort through the holding penalty here. And they still have not flipped the field for the start of the second quarter either.
Well, Coach Nash is out there for Dunwoody.
So in other words, while we were away on the commercial break, they got nothing settled.
Yeah, no, a lot of discussion. We have to remember, this is week one for the officials as well.
Yeah, for all of us, yeah.
And Coach Nash can't seem to understand the explanation that he's being given here.
Well, the penalty came at the end of the quarter. Unless it's a defensive penalty, it should not be an untimed down. So they're just now. So they're going to give South Paulding an untimed down, which I don't know is the correct application of the rule there. Because in essence, you're rewarding the offense with another play, even though the penalty was on them.
Yes, Matt, I agree with you. We need to go to New York and get one of those official analysts here,
Dean Blandino,
to come in and tell us the explanation here. But I believe you are right on the interpretation here.
So now they are going to flip the field because it should be the start of the second quarter. Oh, they're not. They are going to do an untimed down. Okay.
Okay. I think we got it sorted out. So it's first down and looks to be about 20.
Handoff goes to McCoy, and he's hitting the backfield and escapes it. Tries to get to the edge and is able to get to the 35-yard line, and no more than that. Great pursuit again by Thompson.
Oh, the Dunwoody defense is starting to fly around a little bit. Their physicality has shown up a little bit. McCoy, the running back, made a heck of a play just to get, 0 yards on that play, because that could have been another big loss for the offense.
So I think now we will have the official end of the first quarter. That play, if you're keeping track at home, goes on the first quarter ledger. And now they'll flip the field here and get ready for the start of the second quarter. Okay. So it appears that, again, we didn't get an explanation because the microphone was cutting out on the official, but it appears that on the play prior, they ruled that he picked up a first down and the holding must have happened past that. It wasn't at the line of scrimmage. So
that's how I'm interpreting it.
Yeah. So 59 yards of offense for Paulding, South Paulding, in the first quarter, and they had 55 yards in penalties. So 59 total, 55 in penalties.
Well, if you are Coach Allen over there on South Paulding, there is one topic of discussion in my mind as you go into the second quarter, and that's you have to address the discipline here of your football team on both the defensive side and the offensive side when it comes to these penalties. I mean, from a talent standpoint, you clearly see South Paulding has a tremendous amount of talent. There has been a lot of players that have showed up both on the offense and defensive side of the ball, but you're down 7-0, and that's because you can't stay away from the penalties.
And I'm going to chalk that up, a lot of them at least, to just kids being really amped up.
Oh, yeah, and we saw that during pregame about how amped up South Paulding was. I mean, they were juiced for this game, more so than I've seen on most high school football teams. But it's manifested itself a little bit, unfortunately, here in the first quarter.
Running a screen play, it gets blown up right away. Again, great defense by Paulding or by Dunwoody. That was Max Gust who blew up the play. It's going to be third down.
Well, it is not only third down, but it's third down in a country mile.
It's third down in Alabama.
It is. It is.
The first down, the line to gain is in Georgia, but you're in Alabama.
That's correct. So, Coach Allen, it's going to be interesting what you have in the playbook here for third and a country mile.
Third down, and officially they're calling it 30. Wigginton on a crossing route right there. It's called by Patchen at the 44-yard line, and it's going to be fourth down.
Good throw. Good throw by the quarterback. He knew where he was going. The receiver was open, made a nice play. Now it gives him a chance to actually flip the field a little bit with the punting unit coming on.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to give Dunwoody the best of field position as long as they can get a good punt off here.
So Boden is back deep for Dunwoody at the 20-yard line. Wyatt Hardy on the punt from the 30-yard line. And a 7-0 lead for Dunwoody here in our Corky, Kell, Dave Hunter Classic. First game of our Thursday doubleheader. Little rush this time. And Boden's going to have a chance to return from the 35 or the 25, and he gets up to the 30, gets a 5-yard return on the play. And that's where Dunwoody goes back on offense. So let's see what kind of Dunwoody team we see here in the second quarter. Will it be the one that we saw at the end of the first that marched down the field and got that touchdown?
Well, it'll be interesting to see now. Dunwoody's got a little bit of confidence, obviously scoring on the last drive. Are they able to maintain and bring that over? Now, one of the things that South Paulding has really showed up in the first half on defense, you know, they have been extremely physical. They have made some big plays. Clearly, they've had some undisciplined penalties, but some of these defensive front guys have really showed up. So, can they take this game back over?
Celestine gets the handoff this time, his second carry of the game, and Celestine gets 5 on the play up to the 35.
Well, I think this is honestly what has helped Dunwoody early has been this run game. And I know we talked about this a little bit earlier, but as we saw in that last drive, they can get this defense a little bit on their heels.
Quick pass to Boden. They're trying to set up a screen for him. That's a first down up to the 46-yard line. They set that up nicely, had some blockers out there for him, and they pick up the first. It's their 6th first down of the game.
Well, they made a couple of nice adjustments there offensively from Dunwoody. They're trying to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands there by throwing another screen play. Looks like we have a timeout here by the offense.
No, timeout by South Paulding.
Okay. They're going to regroup a little bit.
Defense calls the timeout right here with it 1st and 10 for Dunwoody at the 46-yard line.
Which I actually like that timeout by Coach Allen, because here's the deal. You had a couple of decent plays there for Dunwoody. Settle your guys down again. You know, all is not lost here on this drive. The ball's at the 46. You know, regroup your bunch here, and let's see what you can do here to hold these guys out of the end zone.
Now here's a look at the South Paulding schedule. Their next game, they'll play at Altoona next Friday. Their home opener comes the week after against North Paulding. Their Region 5 5A opener, they play against Lithia Springs and Coach Corey Jarvis's Lions. That's on September the 13th. They have one top 10 game on their schedule, and that's the Rome Wolves on October 18th. Of course, Rome was scheduled to play in the Corky, Kell, Dave Hunter Classic tomorrow night at Barron Stadium, but because of that unfortunate bus accident, none seriously hurt, thankfully.
Well, that's a blessing.
Yeah, they were banged up. Some were in semi or maybe even concussion protocol, so they called off that game. They just had too many players that were question marks because of that bus accident. So Celestine picks up about 6 on the play.
Well, there they go with the run game. Now it's 2nd and 4 after about a 6-yard gain on that run.
Cranshaw back in there, and the pass is complete to Hamilton, and that'll be a first down at the 42. So Perch doing a really good job after starting 0 for 6 in this game. Perch is up to 6 for 15 now.
Well, you can see the confidence level is there now. Early in the game, you know, they got after him a little bit, didn't give him much time to throw. You know, the coaches on Dunwoody have done a nice job to get the ball out of his hands.
They've gone to some quicker routes,
giving him an opportunity to really make his reads, get the ball out, and so far so good here on this drive.
Handoff goes to Cranshaw, and a big hole for Cranshaw. Going to have the first down or close to it at the 32-yard line.
Well, they're doing a really good job here right now with mixing the run and the pass. You know, we talked a little earlier in pregame about the conditioning level being such an important factor here with a 4:30 kickoff here in mid-August. You know, the run game is where you can really start to wear these guys down.
Now some up-tempo offense right here. That is complete to Hamilton, and Hamilton gets shoved out of bounds at the 20-yard line, but Dunwoody's starting to click.
That was a nice little throw. It looked like it was almost a little bit of a sidearm kind of throw there by the quarterback.
Well, you can imagine as a pitcher in high school who's committed to Yale, getting looks from major league teams with a 93-mile-per-hour fastball, he's got different arm slots.
Yeah, he definitely does. That was a different one that we've seen so far today.
So 1st and 10, ball at the 20-yard line. Running a reverse to Cranshaw. Perch out there blocking for him. Cranshaw on the cutback and into the end zone for the Dunwoody touchdown.
Wow. A little razzle-dazzle from Coach Nash and Dunwoody. And they clearly got South Paulding caught off guard there. What a great play call. And I'll tell you, when you see the replay, look at your quarterback getting out and throwing a block downfield on the reverse.
Yeah, he threw the block that opened it up inside. That's a look at your IBEW local 6-13 electrifying play of the half. And it gives Dunwoody a 13-0 lead.
Here's the replay. This was, look at the razzle-dazzle, but watch the quarterback if you can see him. And he does just
right
enough. Just enough. Well, here we go for the extra point.
And Christian Lee puts it up and in. And a 14-0 lead for Dunwoody.
Well, you feel like that's one of those play calls that was, came up during the offseason in a dark room with the coaches as they're trying to get ready their playbook for the year. And what a play call.
Indeed it was. Dunwoody up by 2 touchdowns.
Dang, where you get this car?
You need to join the union.
The union?
Absolutely. You can get 10 of these.
Union construction workers earn the highest wages with the best benefits and the most protection in the construction industry. Find your career in construction. Go to GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com and start your future today.
What happens after you graduate? Will you go to the next level? Will people have your back in the heat of the battle? Will you still train like a champion in pursuit of greatness? You will when you become an IBEW electrician. Join our team. Visit IBEW613.org.
Great teams are committed, focused on the details, and work hard to be their best. From practice to games, right down to their gear. Your field is a critical part of the game that allows your athletes to showcase their abilities. Sports Turf is committed to bringing your team innovative sports surfaces with unparalleled performance. You bring the vision, our team brings it to life.
I just enjoy working with my hands. I've always enjoyed doing mechanical work, and it's nice to be able to build something and look back at it, and know you've done a quality job on it.
At the end of the project, you're able to see what you have put in as far as the jobs are concerned. We know what's being put in the right way the first time.
And through the apprenticeship, you get the training to do a quality job.
Welcome back to Cumming, Georgia. Day 2 of the Corky, Kell, Dave Hunter Classic. And we are in the second quarter here, our first matchup here today at Wolverine Stadium. And Dunwoody has jumped out to a 14-0 lead on Coach Michael Maurice Allen's South Paulding Spartans, they covered 41 yards on those last 3 plays.
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 drives for Dunwoody, they've looked like a different team. I really feel like the play caller in Dunwoody has settled down a little bit, made a few adjustments, and his adjustments have worked. I mean, Dunwoody's offense has looked great. Quarterback's gained a lot of confidence. The running game's looking great. Offensive line's giving the quarterback just enough time. You feel like this is a really critical drive for South Paulding to kind of stay in this game here on this possession.
Ball comes down at the 5 for Tyler. And Jermaine Tyler comes to the short side, gets knocked out of bounds shy of the 20-yard line.
What a block. For the folks at home, I hope you saw this block by number 45 on South Paulding. He just made a special teams block like no other on that kickoff return. Wow. That's the kind of spark play you actually need from your special teams unit, so hopefully it gives a little bit of juice to your sideline again, which they had so much of there before the game started and into that first quarter.
That was Braden Park who threw that block. And so South Paulding starting from the 20-yard line. Again, penalties have just killed South Paulding in this game. Wigginton back to pass, going far side, jump ball, and Tyler goes up and gets it. And Tyler's still on his feet, sidesteps the defense, and they're going to rule him out of bounds at the 44.
What a great play that was. Just to make the adjustment on the catch like he did, but then to almost make the man miss after you catch it like he did. And he just stepped out of bounds, it looks like right there.
Right there. Out.
What a great play. Again, exactly what you need if you're South Paulding. If you're a South Paulding fanatic here, you're excited to see your team bring a little juice. The sideline erupted. Let's keep it going.
Huge play by Jermaine Tyler. Gets them across the 50. And they'll start now 1st and 10 at the 44.
Now, one thing, if I'm Coach Allen over at South Paulding, guys, it's only the second quarter. We don't have to score here.
Pass is intercepted by Thompson at the 39-yard line. Trevor Thomspon, who has been the defensive star of the game here in the first half with a couple of TFL, now comes up with a pick.
But Wigginton has not made a lot of mistakes here in this first half, but clearly this is one here. And it looks like he just didn't see him. He just didn't see him. And unfortunately, he kind of telegraphed that pass, and the defense was able to make a play.
What a play by Trevor Thomspon to come up with the interception. And now South Paulding's in a little bit of a sticky spot here. 8.5 minutes to go. Dunwoody, if they can score again, put them down 3-score hole in the first half.
Well, if you're Coach Allen over here on South Paulding, you feel like your defense really needs to stand up here and make a play here to help your offensive out.
And Perch is playing with a lot of confidence right now, and Cranshaw running the ball. They're going to go for the home run, and Boden streaking down the sideline, and a flag out. Looks like we might have a pass interference on South Paulding. That was Dejon Goins running step for step with Boden.
Well, you could really see the quarterback's arm on that play again.
Another penalty. That puts them at 9 for 70 yards in the first half.
And
that's more than you need in a game.
And we still have 8 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Wow.
With the amount of penalties that we have, this second game that is supposed to be kicking off around 7:30 might be a little bit later.
Wow. South Paulding can't get out of their own way right now. Just devastating penalties have killed them. And now it's 1st and 10 for Dunwoody at the 49-yard line. Wind's starting to kick up here a little bit. Coming Georgia. Got some heavier-looking clouds rolling in, and not that the players mind whatsoever.
I don't think the fans mind in the stands either.
Break from the sun. Handoff goes to Cranshaw as he stumbles forward. That's actually Celestine that time on the run to the 44.
But he was very close to breaking that one even further. Just got tripped up there.
So 2nd down and 4 after the run by Celestine. 8 minutes to play in the quarter.
Well, you can definitely see this offense looks a little different now. They've kind of settled in here.
Handoff goes to Aristorza.
Which, again, I like that play call. You stuck with the run game a little bit. You set up a 3rd and 3, it looks like here now. You're probably in 4-down territory. So the playbook here is at your disposal here on 3rd down.
And Aristorza, who's a little bit of a bigger back than their other two, stays in the ball game on this 3rd down and 3.
It looks like they changed the play.
Perch rolling to his right, being chased by the defense, looking downfield and throws incomplete. Threw it behind Hamilton, and it's going to be 4th down.
It looked like he probably could have got the 1st down with his legs on that one, but just trying to show off that big arm, thought he could sling it in there.
So here comes the question for you, Coach Chris Millman. It's 4th down and roughly 3, maybe 4. Do you punt here, or do you go for it here?
Well, it looks like
play the field position game.
It looks like that's what Coach Nash is going to do.
Yeah, to me, that's the right call.
Well, it's early in the game. Again, we can't lose sight. It's only the 2nd quarter. I mean, we are only halfway through the 2nd quarter. Your defense, has made a few adjustments, is looking pretty well. Have the ability here to really pin these guys back. I can't say I question Coach Nash.
Except that's not a good punt. It's going to go out of bounds at the 33-yard line, and that's going to end up being about a 9-yard punt from the line of scrimmage. So didn't get what they were looking for right there. Wanted to pin them deep. South Paulding takes over on offense when we get back.
The nation's hottest sport. See what the buzz is about on Peachtree Sports Network, where the Atlanta Dream look to eclipse the Connecticut Sun. Dream Sun, Sunday at 3 on Peachtree Sports Network.
With Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Don't worry, help is on the way.
With any of Life Alert's 3 emergency systems, help can be summoned immediately, and batteries never need charging.
I was having a stroke, and I was scared to death.
If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
Life Alert is a lifesaver.
My husband is alive because of Life Alert.
Life Alert is the lifesaver to keep me out of assisted living.
Life Alert saves a life every 11 minutes.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-344-6363. That's 1-800-344-6363. Call now, 1-800-344-6363.
You ever seen this? You ever seen that? You ever seen the Harlem Globetrotters live on TV? Well, now's your chance. For the first time in 40 years, the Harlem Globetrotters are showing off their skills right in your living room. Don't miss a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and don't miss whatever they call that move. The Harlem Globetrotters, live Sunday at 7, only on Atlanta's own Peachtree TV. Yeah, baby.
6:58 left in the first half. Dunwoody leading South Paulding 14-0 here in game 1 of our Thursday Dave Hunter Corky Kell Classic in Cumming, Georgia. The homestanding West Forsyth Wolverines will be playing host to the 2-time defending state champion Prince Avenue.
That's going to be a fun game.
Wolverines.
That's going to be a great game.
So 1st and 10 right here. This game 14-0 Dunwoody could be different except for the massive amount of penalties that have been called on South Paulding here in the first half, and a timeout called coming out of the TV break. They called another timeout.
That was your last timeout.
Yep. But, I mean, you kind of get it. I mean, you see if you're lined up in a formation you think might have an adverse effect on this game, you got to call that timeout right there and gather up with your team. But both these coaches, very interesting stories for both of these coaches and their path to coaching. Mike Nash, he played at Shiloh under Coach Charlie Jordan, went off to college at Mars Hill, didn't like it. I mean, he hated college football, came home, went to work for his dad in the print shop, and he basically was an entrepreneur for 19, close to 20 years before he decided, hey, I want to coach. And then he went back to school, got his degree, coached at his alma mater, Shiloh, as an assistant also at North Gwinnett under Bob Spire, and became the head coach back in 2015, 2016 here at Dunwoody. On the other sideline, Maurice Allen, a decade ago, he was in Afghanistan with the U.S. Army.
Incredible. And has just basically taken some of the principles from the military and moved it down to his football team.
Yeah, that and Franklin Stevens, who kind of has been his mentor here in the state of Georgia, kind of opened the door for him to get had the connections to get him the OC job at Pebblebrook, and that led to the head coaching job here at South Paulding. But both of them very interesting routes, not your traditional route to becoming a head coach.
Oh, Coach Nash is very upset on the sideline. There was a little extracurricular stuff that happened down the field with a little blocking penalty. Well, he was looking for a blocking penalty, and he let the referee know about it. That's been a couple times today. He's been in the ears of the officials.
So second down for South Paulding. The ball at the 38-yard line. It's cooled down significantly with the cloud cover we have here, which is welcome relief for everybody. Started out at 88, 89 degrees at game time. Wigginton loading up to go deep and throws to Patchen, and it's broken up at the 21-yard line. Great defense by Dunwoody right there, as that pass was broken up by Andrew Ainsworth.
Well, this was similar to a play earlier in the game on a deep ball where there was a great throw by the quarterback, but the defender just made an even better play. Just watch this. That is textbook coverage.
Yeah, to come over from behind, not commit interference on the play.
Absolutely
break
fantastic.
It up. So third down now.
Third and about 6 or 7 here.
Line to gain is the 44.
You just feel like you really need this first down if you're South Paulding.
Play clock at 1, hits 0. And now the officials recognize that.
Another penalty for South Paulding.
So what was a 3rd and 6 now becomes a 3rd and 11.
You know, Cade, again, he's a junior, the quarterback here, but he's got some experience, behind him. You would hope that, he would be able to recognize where they are at the play clock, and just didn't, lost sight of it, and unfortunately caused the flag.
Third down from the 33. Wigginton sprints out to his right, now going to run it himself. And Wigginton is going to dive for the sticks, get close, but I think he's a little bit short, about a yard short.
It was good effort. Yep. Really, really good effort. I mean, again, we talked earlier in the game, he is no stranger to trying to use his legs for his team's benefit there, and clearly did on that play, and sets up a 4th and 2, 4th and 3, which looks like Coach Allen has decided to bring on the punt team.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I know. It looks like it keeps the offense
out there.
The
offense is out there.
This is highly risky in my book. They're going to hand off and not get it.
Wow.
Wow is right.
Well, that was definitely a risky call by Coach Allen, and I understand what he's trying to do there. He's trying to get a little bit of a spark for his offense. But unfortunately, Dunwoody's defense stood up there and made a great play.
We won't know, but it looked like there was some indecision on the play. It was slow developing on the handoff, and that's the last thing you want is a slow developing play. So 1st and 10 for Dunwoody.
Well, I know it's the first game of the season. We've talked about this a bit.
Time now to take a look at our cheesiest fans of the game. Snap a photo, say cheese, and use hashtag Fiesta every day for a chance to be featured on television all season long.
Fantastic. What a promo.
First and 10, ball goes to Cranshaw. He gets about a yard on the play before he gets driven back on defense. That's big Tyrone Pitts, the first guy to get there, number 72, 6'3", 290 junior.
Tyrone's a big fella now.
And Siosi Nuasilla, number 99, lining up next to him is 6'2", 275. They can demolish a lunchroom, can't they?
They sure can. Now, I loved that play, though, sticking with this run game. Again, I feel like this has been part of Dunwoody's success.
Pass is batted down, and that was Huey.
Oh, they were saying it's a live football.
It is scooped up. The officials have not blown the whistle, I don't think. They're running with the play. It did look like it might be a backward pass, and if that's the case, that is a live ball, and that's exactly what the officials have ruled. You could hear the coaches off to our right, which are the South Paulding coaches. They were going crazy, yelling at their players to scoop that ball. And Coach Mike Nash wants an explanation. But that was Jeremiah Huey who batted the ball out of the air, and it was scooped by Lucas Hayes, the linebacker.
Well, what an athletic play that was by Jeremiah. Looks like we do have an injury down on the field.
Looks like it might be a cramp situation, but a huge play by Jeremiah Huey right there.
Well, he is known as their big pass rusher, right? He's the guy last year had 5 sacks for the defense. His athleticism really showed up right there with his long arms, and clearly gave South Paulding exactly what they have needed. And that is a big play to give a little momentum to this team.
Yeah, 52 total tackles a year ago for Huey. Long arms, you saw that come into play as he was able to get his arms up there and knock that ball out of the air. So take a look at the Northside Hospital injury report, and we'll keep a check on the injured player right there and update you on his status. But it looked like a cramp to me, which is the good news. Not good news if you're having a cramp, but good news in that it's not a serious injury.
You hate to say this, but here in mid-August in Georgia, for a 4:30 kickoff, you're going to probably see a little bit of those cramp-type situations among some of the kids. It's just kind of more or less the nature of the beast this time of year.
No doubt.
Especially for a first game.
So first and 10 for South Paulding with 5 minutes to play in the half. Let's see if they can cash in here. Wigginton on the rollout, throwing for the end zone. There's contact, and it's knocked down. Looked like there was a lot of contact going on right there as they were trying to get the ball to Weissman, and Gallagher steps in there and bats it down.
What a great throw. I felt like this was a great throw by Cade here. Again, use his leg, get him outside the pocket a little bit, looking downfield. There's that arm strength that we talked about earlier. And just good play by the defender. It was close.
Looked like Gallagher might have his hands on him. They didn't drop a flag. So first and 10, ball at the 25. Handoff goes to McCoy, and McCoy picks up 5 down to the 20. This puts him in a good spot.
Great. And I feel like they almost haven't leaned on McCoy enough here early in this first half. Again, this is the workhorse here on this offense as a running back. He'll stay on the field for all 3 downs. He's in here again at 3rd down.
Yeah, they've got 4 guys on that offensive line that are 270 plus. Wigginton rolling to his right again, looking downfield, has plenty of time, can take off and run if he wants to. Instead, dumps it off for a first down. Nice job by Wigginton to keep the play alive, and then Isaiah Ford flashes open. You get him the ball, it's the first down.
Yep. Again, what they love to do, get him outside here, outside the pocket. And then he just pops open right here and gets his feet down and moves the chains.
So first and 10, ball at the 11. We are in the red zone presented by IBEW, Local 613. Quarterback run, Wigginton right into the line. Going to pick up about 2 on the play.
Just, again, we talked in the pregame about this offensive line here for South Paulding, and I almost feel like in the first half we haven't utilized these guys enough.
Yeah, I agree.
And they have some definitive size among there that could really take over this game, whether you're running with the quarterback or you're running with McCoy, the running back.
Second down, Wigginton going to the end zone and a jump ball, and they come down with it, but it's going to be a touchdown. It is. Wow. Touchdown catch by Isaiah Ford, comes down with it in the corner of the end zone.
What a catch.
I thought he might have been out of bounds, but the official right there on top of it says he comes down with it in the corner. Touchdown South Paulding, and it's 14-6.
Let's look at the replay here. It's got to be close. I think he got it. One hand. It looked like it was about a one-hander. Wowee.
Lucio.
Sports Center top plays.
Lucio, and the PAT is going to be good. He's got it through the uprights.
Okay, South Paulding. Well, you got your play there by your defense, and went down, took advantage, got some points. Clearly, the big play there on defense has sparked this football team. And now, as bad as it may have seemed at times, you are only down 7 during the back half of this second quarter.
So, touchdown for South Paulding as they cut the Dunwoody lead in half, and it's 14-7. Switch your termite protection to Breda Pest Management, and your rate is locked in for 10 years. If live termites are ever found, Breda will retreat, fix the damage, and honor the rest of your contract, all for free. Breda, they handle bugs and critters. So it was the big defensive play by Huey. Sets it up for them to go in and score. And South Paulding back in the game with 3:33 to play here in the first half.
Well, it's been a fun-filled first half here in Cumming, Georgia. I can tell you that. For a first game of the season, we've had a little bit of everything here in this first half by both teams. But, boy, is it good to have regular season football back.
The march to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. December 16th through the 18th, the state championships. Ball's coming down at the 10-yard line. And the return coming here to the near side up to the 32 on the return by Cranshaw. Not a bad return. And that's where Dunwoody goes back on offense. So it seems to me like, Chris, as we watch this game unfold, seems like to me that, both teams are starting to work out the kinks.
Yeah, you've definitely noticed that here as we've gotten here to the back half of the second quarter. South Paulding clearly has got to get control of the penalty situation, which has clearly bit them quite a few times here in the first half. But, both teams seem to have settled down a little bit here now. And, we got a good game here in front of us. Should be a heck of a end of the second quarter here.
So 1st and 10 from the 32. Cranshaw gets the handoff, and Cranshaw gets thrown forward to the 37-yard line by Nuasilla. Cranshaw now up over 50 yards rushing here in the first half.
Cranshaw's had some good runs. Again, he's the guy for him. A little smaller, but he's got some real quickness to him.
Gets the ball again, and this time he gets hit. Just a 2-yard gain on the play. That was Simeon Adewale making the tackle.
But again, I like this decision here by Dunwoody to stick with the run game, because now here we are. You're 3rd and 2. The playbook is at your disposal. You could do anything here. You could run it. You could throw it. You could use the quarterback's legs.
Handoff goes to Cranshaw again. Gets tripped forward. He lunges forward to the 42-yard line, and it's going to be close. And I don't think he got it. That's a great play by Adewale, bag to bag, to trip him up.
This is going to be an interesting play call. 4th and 1. Looks like Coach Nash is going to keep the offense out.
Well, they were able to bark him offside earlier in the game. Let's see if they try.
Well, I don't blame them. That's actually a great idea. Let's see if South Paulding has learned from their mistakes.
Still plenty of time on the play clock. It's at 15. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. They're going to burn a timeout here, I think, and then punt.
Well, some of the guys on defense. There we go. Timeout. Well, okay, South Paulding. You learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
Didn't let it happen again. So now you've given your team the ability here to potentially get the ball back here. Maybe Dunwoody punts this now.
Yeah, now you're going to get the ball back.
And you'll have a minute, minute and a half essentially almost to work with to, try to tie the game going into the half.
Plenty of time. You see how you start to see the talent level of South Paulding kind of start to show through once they're able to clean the game up and not kill themselves with penalties.
Well, Coach Allen on South Paulding has shown they are not afraid to throw the football downfield either. So they're going to put the ball in their quarterback's hands and basically let him sit back there and try to throw it as much as they want to down the field. Is there any chance that Coach Nash comes out here and goes for it on fourth down?
I highly doubt that. I mean, because failure in that situation gives South Paulding a very short field. Why would you do that?
I would agree.
You got the clock working in your favor. You only got 130. Punt them down, inside the 30-yard line and make them work for it.
I agree. And it looks like that's exactly what he was going to do. So he is definitely drinking your Kool-Aid and your rationale on that.
I like my Kool-Aid.
Now, okay, they didn't have anybody back, but now they brought somebody back there on the return side.
So this is Jake Greenfield to punt. And he's going to burn some time and end-over-end kick. Going to hit at the 35 and take a 10-yard bounce down to the 25. That's perfect. That's exactly what you're looking for if you're done with it.
Well, he got a good coming Georgia bounce that helped them on that one, and gave him about an extra 10 yards downfield. So not a bad punt for Dunwoody. That's exactly what you're looking for.
Yep. So they've got to go 75 yards, or at least get in field goal range. Lucio, their punter or kicker, is about a 30-yard range. So you essentially got to get the ball inside the 15-yard line.
Well, we're going to get to see Cade, number 13, the quarterback here. You're going to get to see him at his absolute best here. He is going to sling this football all around the field here.
And remember, they have no timeouts remaining.
That's exactly right. 0 timeouts.
So 1st and 10, ball at the 25 for South Paulding, down 14-7 here late in the first half. Wigginton is going to hand off to McCoy, and McCoy runs right into the defense, not going very far. Rhett Hesprich making the tackle for Dunwoody.
So clock's moving, but you can see they're in the hurry up here now.
Second down.
Little confusion here on the offense, getting lined up, and there's your flag.
Yeah, Corson was late getting off the field. That'll be a 5-yard penalty on South Paulding. I think that's their 10th penalty.
So we have hit double digits on the penalty side for South Paulding here in this first half.
So back to second down, or still second down, and back to 10 to go. Wigginton throws incomplete.
Well, they brought, defensively, it looks like they brought a little extra rusher. Oh, and there's a late flag.
Connor Street was the intended target, and Trevor Thomspon, who has had a fabulous first half, was on the coverage.
Boy, that flag came in awfully late.
Thompson is the leading tackler for either team here in the first half. 6 tackles. It's a holding penalty, a defensive holding on Dunwoody.
And if you're Coach Nash, that just hurts your soul, because you had them backed up in a third and 10, and now that's just a gut punch.
So that will put the ball at the 35, 1st and 10, 57 seconds left in the half. Wigginton, quick fire, and in and out of the hands of Ford, who caught the touchdown pass earlier in this half. That was a little Patrick Mahomes under.
Yeah.
That was almost like a submarine pass.
Receiver probably should have caught the ball. Wasn't Cade's best throw of the day in terms of his mechanics and delivery, getting rid of that. But that's definitely one that the receiver would like to have back.
2nd down and 10 following the incompletion. Heavy rush. Thompson in there. Quarterback sack.
Untouched.
Trevor Thomspon continues his dominating first half with a quarterback sack.
Look good. They're just bringing him off the edge. Offensive line didn't see him, didn't pick him up. Didn't give Kate, really any time. And now Dunwoody's going to call a timeout while it's 3rd and 15, 3rd and 20, with the opportunity of maybe they can get the ball back.
Yep. That was the last timeout they have, so it does really, that timeout's really a smart timeout because it's 3rd and 16. In order to kill the clock, South Paulding has to make a difficult choice here. Do we run the ball and we run out, then we run out the clock, or do we pass and risk an incompletion, stop the clock, and give Dunwoody a chance to get the ball back? So they have a tough decision to make.
If I'm Coach Allen for South Paulding, this is in my opinion, a simple decision. You're down 7 points. You're lucky you're down 7 points.
Run the ball.
Run the ball, and you're happy to go in the locker room only down 7.
I agree with you on that. Yeah.
Just don't get over aggressive. You honestly should be thrilled at this point that your team's only down 7 points. You can go in the half. You can make a couple adjustments, get the discipline stuff taken care of. Going to the second half down by 7, you feel like you got a real chance.
Reflecting back on what Coach Nash told us about Trevor Thomspon and Preston Cooper, he said they will run through your soul. And Thomspon has done a lot of that here in the first half.
Seen that.
A quarterback sack, 2.5 TFL, 7 total tackles now, 5 solo. He's been magnificent.
He's been all over the field here in this first half.
So 3rd down, and they're going to throw, and it's batted down. Great defense right there. And it's going to be 4th down, and the clock stops with 36 seconds. Now they're going to have to punt it to him, and Dunwoody is going to get the ball back.
That one there, I just don't quite understand from a play calling standpoint.
Well, you open the door for Dunwoody, have another shot.
Clearly. I mean, right now, you have 36 seconds left to go. You're going to have the ball probably with 30 seconds.
25, 30, yep.
Right in there.
Yep.
And it's going to be at midfield.
Yeah. That was Cole Camp, by the way, who made that great defensive play. And not a good punt either. The ball's going to hit and go backwards, and that's going to end up being a punt of about 1 yard. That's a 1-yard punt.
On a case.
Now you give the ball, and Perch can clear the throw.
Well, he definitely can. He has shown that, on tape all last year and obviously early in this game. He's got no problem getting there with ease and has picked some confidence in the passing game here in the second quarter. So, folks, buckle up here for this 25 seconds.
25 seconds left in the half, and they tee him up for perhaps a score late here in the second quarter. Perch can clearly reach the end zone from here. So you're going to have 3 or 4 cracks at the end zone. So Perch throws and complete at the sticks.
Now they're going to hurry up. It's completed. They're going to try to spike it.
16 seconds.
They ruled him out. They ruled it incomplete?
Yeah, I think they ruled him. Porter Allison, number 3, was out there. He thought he made the catch, and they started moving the sticks.
Gosh, from this angle, it looked like he did too.
So now it's going to be 2nd down. They ended up losing 9 seconds on that play.
Okay, for the folks at home, 16 seconds currently on the clock.
You got time for 2 plays.
Well, right now there's all kinds of discussion going on among the officials.
So they've got 15 seconds now on the clock.
Okay, 15. So maybe 2 plays, but you have no timeouts left for Dunwoody. So if you have a play inside the white lines, you're going to have to hurry up and spike.
Yeah,
right?
It's going to be hard.
Let's see if he just goes to the end zone here.
Perch rolling to his right, throws to the sideline, caught by Hamilton. That bought them another 4 or 5 yards, but it also cost them 4 seconds. So now they're at the 31.
11 seconds left.
Well, the other thing to remember is here, Christian Lee, their kicker, he kicked a 47-yarder last year. He's clearly he's the man. Yeah, he's clearly within range here for Christian Lee. And good conditions, not much wind. You just line it up on what hash does he like.
Well, Coach Nash says, let's try to get another play in. So let's see if they do a similar play to what they just did, or if they try to take a shot downfield into the end zone. If you throw it downfield, though, you got to get it in the end zone. If not, the half's out.
Perch goes to the sideline again, and it's incomplete. We're down to 8 seconds, and it's also 4th down. So decisions made for you.
We're going to bring out the big leg here.
So Christian Lee is going to come on and attempt what will probably be about a 48, 49-yarder. Let's see where they set up. Looks like they're going to set up on the 38. So a 48-yard kick from the right hash for Christian Lee.
Now, remember on one of the touchdowns earlier, they had a little trouble with the hold. Let's see if they've cleaned that up here for this big kick.
Porter Allison is the holder. Jake Jester is the snapper. Everything looks clean. Kick is on its way, and the kick is going to be just short, just under the crossbar. The accuracy was there. The leg was not.
He did not miss by much.
Nope. And South Paulding dodges a bullet there, surrendering no more points. And there's 2 seconds left in the half. South Paulding gets a chance to run one more play.
South Paulding just dodged a tremendous bullet with how they played out that last minute and a half there.
Yeah, they did not handle that last minute well.
So they got very lucky with that. They caught a break, which they haven't had a ton of breaks today. So very fortunate for them. That looks like they'll be able to go in the half just down 7.
So Dunwoody goes into their prevent defense, and that'll be the final play of the half, a run by McCoy. And it is 14-7 as the teams head to the locker room. Halftime show coming up next, 14-7, Dunwoody on top, incoming.
Introducing Zaxby's new chicken finger tacos. One with pico and creamy chipotle ranch, and the other with bacon and avocado ranch. Chicken experts since 1990. Taco experts since now. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
The Georgia Sheet Metal JETC provides apprentices with free training and careers that are stable and essential to the operation of the modern world. Both craft jobs and management positions offer lucrative pay with benefits as well as the stability of a growing industry. Skilled journeymen in the sheet metal industry are essential to our community now and in the future. Learn more about free technical training with no student debt at our website, careersinsheetmetal.com.
At Breda, we made the decision 20 years ago to invest in infrared cameras. The infrared gives us a unique advantage because we can pinpoint that termite damage. We then use our microwave technology, which allows us to localize our treatment so we can get rid of those termites quicker before that damage becomes extensive. And that saves you a lot of money as a homeowner.
Breda, Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Zaxby's new chicken finger tacos. One's smothered with creamy chipotle ranch, and one's got avocado ranch with bacon. Chipotle, avocado, chipotle, avocado. Deciding is hard, so just get both. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
For a healthier future together,
Look to Northside Hospital.
And welcome all to the halftime show brought to you by Sports Turf. I'm Kelly Mansell, and it's time for our head coaches interview presented by Inglet and Stubb. I'm joined by who I would probably consider to be the two funniest coaches in this entire event. It's Dave Spala from West Forsyth and Greg Vandergriff from Prince Avenue. Coach Spala, I'll go to you first. You said that quarterback Max Walraven might be the most underrated player in the state. Do you think he can have an Oscar Delp type night and finally get the exposure he deserves right here on this stage?
Well, I think any exposure he gets is going to have to be earned by him. Mm-hmm. And we're playing a great team tonight. We know that happened with Oscar a couple of years ago, and that's not real common. I think very highly of Max. I think he's probably been under-recruited, but we're going to find out if he's ready for the big time tonight.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of quarterbacks, Coach Vandergriff, you lose the state's all-time career passing leader in Aaron Philo. Walk us through what this offseason's been like with the quarterback battle.
We've got two wonderfully talented young men. We've got a sophomore in Ben Musser who transferred in middle of last season. And then we have Mike Bobo's son, Jake Bobo, who started as an outside linebacker. Both of them really are gifted runners. You know, we need them to be gifted passers to do what we do. And tonight's going to be a little bit of that coming out party, and we find out what Ben does. And again, facing a great opponent with West Forsyth, and we'll have our hands full on that.
And Coach Vela, when we saw you this time last year, you had a really young offense, but this year you've got more veterans coming back. How has that changed the course of the last few weeks, knowing that you've got a more experienced group coming out here?
Well, I hope it means we play better than we played last year. You know, I mean, we took an early first-round exit in the playoffs, and you know, like, our kids are hungry. We lost some good football players off of that team, but it happens to every coach in America. It's just the way it is. So I'm excited about the kids we have coming back, but as far as tonight, I'm telling you, it's a complete unknown. You're going to see that for the first time, and I'm going to see for the first time what it's like under the lights for a lot of these kids. I'm excited for them. It'll be a fun night.
And Coach Vandergriff, for the last decade, Prince Avenue has dominated the lower classifications, but today you get to play a team with almost 3 times as many students as y'all have. What's the excitement around getting to play a program of this size?
Well, we felt like the last few years we've done a little bit of everything. We played in Pensacola last year. We played in Chattanooga. We played in Columbia, South Carolina. And what we're trying to do is just, you know, again, continue to raise the bar, create different venues, different challenges. I don't know if we like to challenge that tonight or these next few weeks, but, you know, they got 2,500, we have 300. And so, you know, the great thing is they can only put 11 on the field. The bad thing is we're going to get tired. We'll see what happens.
Coach Vandergriff, Coach Vela, 2 vets across Georgia high school football. Excited to have y'all here tonight at the Corky, Kell, Dave Hunter Classic. Now let's take a look at the South Paulding Band presented by Deer Park.
With Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Don't worry, help is on the way.
With any of Life Alert's 3 emergency systems, help can be summoned immediately, and batteries never need charging.
I was having a stroke, and I was scared to death.
If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
Life Alert is a lifesaver.
My husband is alive because of Life Alert.
Life Alert is the lifesaver to keep me out of assisted living.
Life Alert saves a life every 11 minutes.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-344-6363. That's 1-800-344-6363. Call now, 1-800-344-6363.
If you live in rural America and want better high-speed internet at home, say hello to the new HughesNet.
Hi! Now I can video conference with confidence.
Yes!
The new HughesNet is Jupiter powered with unlimited data and faster speeds than ever before.
Now I can stream up anything I can dream of.
Now you can do it all. Connect, stream, and play. Call today to get free professional installation and exclusive offers. Call 1-800-736-7315.
Looking for a reason to try the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the price makes 5.
So much.
That's everything you get with the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's.
The nation's hottest sport. See what the buzz is about on Peachtree Sports Network, where the Atlanta Dream look to eclipse the Connecticut Sun. Dream Sun, Sunday at 3 on Peachtree Sports Network.
And welcome back to the Sports Turf Halftime Show. I'm Kaylee Mansell, and I'm joined by a field organizer for IBEW Local 613, Chris Ludke. Chris, how far does the jurisdiction for the IBEW expand, and who do your members include?
So our jurisdiction in the IBEW for what we call 5th District is obviously, of course, here in Georgia, part of Tennessee, the southern part, the eastern part of Alabama, northern Florida, and southern South Carolina as well. Now that's just our jurisdiction inside of 5, but the IBEW as a whole is comprised of all of the United States and part of Canada. It's a little bit over 800,000 members and growing. So.
And when you look back on what you've done, what are some of the projects that y'all have worked on?
To highlight a couple of the big projects that we've worked on here in Georgia. Obviously, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, the Atlanta Braves Stadium, the majority of the hospitals, the new Children's Hospital out there. So those are just to mention a few of the bigger projects, but I mean, our local touches everything to production facilities, manufacturing plants, power plants, industrial plants, things of that nature.
And as long as I've been here, y'all have been a longtime partner of high school sports. Why is the relationship so important?
So to me, and I think I can speak for a majority of the IBEW and the other organizing trades out there, it's important for us to be able to get our voice out there and show a lot of the students and the faculty that, you know, if college isn't necessarily an option for you, or if you're looking to get into an industry that you can have, you know, paid training, tuition free, and retirements as well, that you can do that without having to pursue, you know, a high amount of debt like you would if you went to college. So. And
for those at home who want to find out more, where can they find out more at?
So you can go to georgiaconstructioncareers.com, or for us, you can go to ibewlocal613.org.
Mr. Ludke, always a pleasure to have you on. Excited to continue to see you this week. We will be back with more after the break.
Hey, is the power off on this?
I don't know. Just take it off.
Safety violation, unsafe work conditions.
In the construction trades unions, safety is our highest priority, and we train you to recognize and speak out on unsafe working conditions so that everyone arrives and goes home safely. Learn about careers in construction at georgiaconstructioncareers.com.
Welcome back to the Halftime Show presented by Sports Turf. It's time for our halftime guest presented by the Georgia Army National Guard. I am joined by Sergeant First Class Collins, who's actually the recruiter for South Paulding High School that's playing here right now. What does it mean to be the recruiter for a high school? What does that look like for you?
Oh, well, it's an absolute pleasure. I mean, we get to go out and actually provide career guidance to these people, and they're trying to make a huge decision. If they're talking with us, obviously, they're trying to make one of the biggest decisions of their lives. So We like to be subject matter experts about everything military related and provide that guidance and see if part-time military service might make sense for them.
I think a lot of people are familiar with the GI Bill that helps service members pay for college. Does the Georgia Army National Guard have a similar program to that?
Yeah, well, not only do we have the GI Bill, and that's a federal benefit, but we also have a state benefit called the Service Cancelable Loan. And the Service Cancelable Loan, it covers 100% tuition at any public college, and it offers a substantial amount of any private college within the state of Georgia. So not only do you get federal benefits such as the GI Bill, but you can also utilize state benefits with the National Guard. Makes us a little bit different than other reserve components.
So when you're talking to high school students, what are the specific characteristics that you're looking for in a potential member?
Well, you know, for me, and for example, a little background, my younger sister's an active duty service member, so she enjoys her experience and everything. But for the National Guard being a reserve component, we're looking for people who have a goal in mind of what they want to do on the civilian side, whether that's pursue education or potentially look at career paths. We want to work with people that have a desire to live and serve in this community and give them an opportunity to reap the benefits of military service while also serving their community.
For you personally, what would you say is the most rewarding part of your job?
From being a recruiter, it's certainly helping people execute upon that plan. So when you meet people that say, for instance, we got a lot of scholarship recipients at the University of North Georgia, when kids come to us and say, hey, I want to join to go to college and I want to go to ROTC, or I got this plan of commissioning, and then a couple years later when you actually see them execute, and even some of them are now my bosses, and it's, you know, I got a salute and everything. It's certainly rewarding to see these young people grow up and execute upon that plan that we talked to, you know, maybe in a high school or lunchroom somewhere. Yeah.
And for those at home who want to find out more, where can they find out more?
So 2 easy ways. You can always go to www.nationalguard.com and enter your information, and a recruiter will reach out. Or you can also call 1-800-GO-GUARD, and you'll be able to track us down through that mechanism as well.
Sergeant First Class Collins, we thank you so much for being here, and we thank you so much for your service.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you guys.
And right back after the break, we're going to have a very special guest, so you're going to want to stay right where you're at.
NetCredit is here to say yes to a personal loan or line of credit, even when other lenders won't. Apply online in minutes and get funds deposited the next business day or sooner. Go to netcredit.com. NetCredit. Credit to the people.
It's hot at Matthews Kia of Cartersville, so we are having a hot sales event. We have great selections of 2024 and 2025 new vehicles. Lease the 2025 Kia Carnival LX $429 for 24 months, the 2024 Kia Sportage LX $289 for 24 months, or the 2024 Kia Telluride S just $379 for 24 months. Hurry, because prices are in your favor right now. Don't forget, Matthews Kia of Cartersville is home to the lifetime warranty. Come see us today. All roads lead to Matthews Kia of Cartersville.
You ever seen this? You ever seen that? You ever seen the Harlem Globetrotters live on TV? Well, now's your chance. For the first time in 40 years, the Harlem Globetrotters are showing off their skills right in your living room. Don't miss a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and don't miss whatever they call that move. The Harlem Globetrotters, live Sunday at 7, only on Atlanta's own Peachtree TV. Yeah, baby.
Set the record. The biggest WNBA game in Atlanta history. The Atlanta Dream look to even the score against Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Get your tickets to the biggest Dream game of the year and see why the WNBA is taking the nation by storm. Don't be left out when State Farm sells out. Monday, August 26th. Grab the hottest ticket in town now at dream.wnba.com.
Okay, going back to one.
This industry is my life. The Georgia film industry feeds my children, and it feeds my dreams, which are two very important things. The film community is a real vital ecosystem. You can make a living in it in an incredible town.
Real jobs, real impact. Support Georgia Films. Visit whygeorgia.com.
And welcome back to the Sports Trip Halftime Show. I'm Kelly Mansell with someone who, even after all these years, it's still an honor to stand next to. It's Dave Hunter of the Corky, Kell, Dave Hunter Classic. This event has been going on since 1992. What do you remember most about the early days of this event, Coach?
Well, I remember the early days. It was a doubleheader in 1992. Brookwood and McEachern played, and Southwest DeKalb and Newnham played. Mm-hmm. And then the second year, we got Amway kind of rooted us out with money at the Georgia Dome, and we played on Monday night.
Wow.
And it was a very successful event, and it's grown from that doubleheader to 11 games now. We're so proud of it, and it's been a great honor to be involved with it. And the television has made it such a much better and wider acclaimed event.
When you look back on all of the years, what's the thing that you're most proud of?
I think the exposure for the players, the high school players. Mm-hmm. I mean, what guy can say, I played, tell his grandkids later on that I played the same place where they played the Super Bowl. Right? I played the same place with the Mercedes-Benz is probably the nicest stadium in the world. It's just an event for the players. And it needs to always be an event for the players. If it's not for that, then I think we lose sight of what the focus that we need to have.
So I have to ask you this, as a former coach and as someone who has been here for every single one, how much more advanced now are these high school athletes, especially the ones that we see playing on TV on the field?
Well, they're so much more advanced physically. They got better nutrition. Mm-hmm. They got better training. Better lifting, all those kind of things. We got kids that used to run 4.6 in the 40, which was really fast. Now they're in the 4.4s.
Yeah.
And they're much bigger, much stronger. And this game has given them a lot of exposure. We've had an awful lot of kids that have gotten scholarships from this one game through the telecast.
As you mentioned, it started as a doubleheader, and now we're in double-digit games. Where do you see the future of the Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic headed?
Well, I think we're about maxed out on time because it's starting on Wednesday, and the GHSA gives us special dispensation for that. But we're not sure where we're going to go after this, but we want to try to continue to make it grow, and perhaps we do a little bit more streaming. Mm-hmm. We're just not sure where we go, but we'll all sit down and discuss that as time goes on.
Well, Dave, like I said, it's just an honor to be in your presence. All that you've done for Georgia high school football, it's undeniable, and we have a tremendous amount of respect. But we've got kickoff coming up soon, so let's go.
Thank you, Kaylee. Appreciate that. Always good to see Coach Dave Hunter. He was down on the field prior to the game, got a chance to visit with the legendary coach again. Of course, this event bears his name along with Corky Kell, and they've done a fabulous job in the tremendous growth we've seen in this with a doubleheader tonight. Got another half to go here in the South Paulding and Dunwoody game, and then we've got Prince Avenue and West Forsyth coming up later. But your thoughts as we head, Chris, into the second half?
Well, both teams I think have settled down a little bit. It's a 14-7 game, so we got a very competitive second half here in front of us. So folks, don't go anywhere. Grab your dinner, pull up to the TV. You're going to enjoy some football here in the second half. That should be great.
All right, let's take a look at the first half highlights. And the touchdown pass from Perch to Boden got things started. It's presented by the Mechanical Trade Institute. That was a 32-yard touchdown pass right there at the end of the first quarter to get Dunwoody on the board.
I love the look and feel of that play. That's what really got Dunwoody going here in this game. And this was the razzle-dazzle play of the day.
Yeah, the reverse that goes to the running back, Cranshaw. 20-yard touchdown run as he slings into the end zone. And a 14-0 lead for Dunwoody at that point. But then South Paulding strikes back.
We got the interception.
First, you got the interception by Trey Thompson. What a first half for Trey Thompson. Easily the first half
MVP
leader for
defense.
Defensive MVP. And that's a look back at that touchdown pass to Boden again. And a 14-7 lead here as South Paulding was able to score in that second quarter on the 9-yard touchdown pass to Isaiah Ford. And 14-7. So let me put the coach's hat on you. For Dunwoody, what's your thoughts? And for South Paulding, what's your thoughts going into the third and fourth quarter?
Well, on the Dunwoody side here offensively, I think they really established themselves when they had a lot of good balance there on offense. They started running the ball, then the pass opened up. It got the defensive line for South Paulding to slow down a little bit. I think that they just got to continue with that mix of the run and pass there offensively.
All right, Chris, we'll step aside and come back and get the third quarter started right after this timeout.
A journeyman with Local 85, when you turn out, you can be hitting six figures.
Hey, I have your back, you have my back. We're going to do this together. We're one for all for one.
College just wasn't for me. Let's look into actual career jobs that wouldn't take college, where I wouldn't, lose money and all that. Instead of losing a lot more money at the end, why not make money and make more money at the end?
Planting season is here, and it's time to get your yard looking its best. So treat your yard to the perfect touch from the professionals at Personal Touch Lawn Care. Mowing, maintenance, design, and construction. Personal Touch Lawn Care does it all.
If my yard is taken care of, it's one thing off my list that I don't have to worry about.
Sign up now for monthly maintenance and get the 12th month free.
Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you.
Personal Touch Lawn Care, 770-908-1238 or online at ptlcatlanta.com.
Sweetheart, please don't forget to wear your seatbelt. I got it, Mom. It's a really nice day, living in the right space. Breathing your place, got me feeling some kind
of way. In the blink of an eye, so many tomorrows can disappear. Buckle up for your future, every trip, every time. A message from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
The Forum River Center in Rome, Georgia is now open and available for meetings and receptions. We're fully equipped for large conventions, sporting events, weddings, and much more. The Forum is located downtown within walking distance of local restaurants, hotels, and boutique shopping. We offer a variety of meeting spaces, many with beautiful river views. Outdoor venues are available for that special touch with our adjacent parking deck and a personal concierge on site. Your event is sure to be a hit. Find out more at forumrivercenter.com.
The Corky, Kell, Dave Hunter Classic is brought to you by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Transform your future today. And presented by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 613. Electrify your career.
Start of the third quarter in the Corky, Kell, Dave Hunter Classic in Cumming, Georgia, on the campus of West Forsyth High School. Matt Stewart, Chris Millman with you. And the Spartans will be receiving the opening kickoff here in the third quarter. James and Tyler are standing deep for South Paulding.
So, Matt, to go back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier, South Paulding, let's get a little bit more balance here offensively here in the second half. I think it will only open up that passing game that they've been trying to lean on so far.
Tyler on the return from the 5 reaches the 23, and that is where the Spartans will go on offense. Cade Wigginton was 6 of 15 passing for 104 in that first half. Chris, 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
And you didn't feel like he could really get in much of a rhythm. Now they moved him around quite a bit. Obviously, we saw in the first half he really likes to use his legs, kind of get outside the pocket. They had a couple of design runs for him there in that first half. But I want to see a little bit more from the running backs here in this first half, or second half, to really see if they can get that side of it going, to really get Dunwoody a little bit more off balance.
Albert McCoy, 10 carries, 19 yards, their leading rusher in the first half. Isaiah Ford had 2 catches for 18 yards. 1 went for 9 yards and a touchdown, and nobody else had more than 1 reception in that first half.
Well, I like starting out that drive. Again, you know, for those of you who are just joining us, this is Albert McCoy, running back. He's their 3-down back. You know, he's the ball hawk there offensively as far as carrying the ball is concerned. I would like to see a little bit more from him here in the second half and give him some more opportunities.
152 yards of total offense for the Spartans in the first half. 104 in the air, 52 on the ground, 77 yards on penalties. 11 penalties called on the Spartans in the first half. McCoy gets the rock again, and he gets about a yard. Looks like they're wanting to get behind that big offensive line. Well, Tyler Chukwuem, their right tackle, who's been offered by App State, Coastal, and UT Martin.
Well, Well, it sets up a manageable down and distance, and this is what we asked for. This is what they needed to do, is be able to get in more 3rd and 4s, 3rd and 5s, as opposed to 3rd and longs. Again, playbook's kind of at your disposal here on what you want to do, especially when you got a quarterback that can move.
Yep, 3rd down and 4. Wigginton going to go to the air. Heavy rush and a quarterback sack, and it is Thompson again. Trevor Thomspon has been unblockable.
He is really showing up today. I'll tell you what, he has been all over the field. And if you want to talk about being ready for your first opening game of the season, he had his bowl of Wheaties this morning.
No doubt about it. He had a couple of bowls of Wheaties. Wow, what a half for Thomspon. And now 9 total tackles, 7 solo, 4.5 TFL, 2 quarterback sacks, and an interception. That's a season for a lot of them.
What a stat line. Again, there were some positives, though. I know it was a 3 and out, but there was a couple of positives there on that drive for South Paulding. Again, you're only down 7. Let's see what your defense can do to get the offensive ball back.
I think it hit a South Paulding player. The South Paulding coaches are yelling. They thought that Dunwoody touched it. I believe South Paulding actually touched it at the 48-yard line. And they're going to down it at the 42.
Well, the coaches in the booth were totally convinced that ball had bounced off a Dunwoody player, but it didn't look like the referee saw it that way.
Yeah, I think it hit the back foot, the heel of a South Paulding player, actually. So that's actually a break for South Paulding because it hit them at the 48 and they end up spotting it at the 42.
So there you go. Well, let's see if Dunwoody goes back to kind of the balanced attack that they finished that second quarter with. You know, if South Paulding, early on showed that their defensive line can really take over this game, let's see if they continue to try to be a force here on the inside.
Perch 8 for 20, 82 yards and a touchdown in the first half. And the handoff goes to Cranshaw. And Cranshaw, probably, if anybody's been an offensive star in this game, it's been Cranshaw. 10 carries, 57 yards, and a 20-yard touchdown run in the first half.
And now that's Cranshaw that's down. And it looked like he was holding either his shoulder or his arm there. Couldn't quite tell, but he took a pretty good sized pop there on the tackle. So that's good news. He's getting back up. He's holding his right shoulder.
Yeah, still holding that shoulder a little bit though.
Well, Cranshaw has been the guy, as you just mentioned.
So we're going to step aside for the injury timeout.
Looking for a reason to try the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the price makes 5. That's everything you get with the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's.
This is a Peachtree Sports Network weather update, powered by Atlanta News First. Sponsored by Coolray.
Happy Thursday. I am meteorologist Jennifer Valdez with your Peachtree Sports Network weather update. We've had mostly dry weather this week. That will change as we head towards Friday and the weekend, but overnight we will continue to be mostly dry. Waking up Friday morning, still looking great across pretty much the entire state, but late Friday, we are watching those rain chances increase across far North Georgia, and then we'll see those rain chances spread across the state as we head towards the weekend. So certainly be aware there will be higher rain chances Friday into Saturday. Low temperatures tonight, 73 in Atlanta, around 68 in Macon, 71 in Savannah. Then another hot day tomorrow will be near 90 along the coast, low to mid 90s across middle and North Georgia.
The nation's hottest sport. See what the buzz is about on Peachtree Sports Network, where the Atlanta Dream look to eclipse the Connecticut Sun. Dream Sun, Sunday at 3 on Peachtree Sports Network.
Here's to the legends of the game who paved the way for the stars of today.
Get out of his way!
Origin Sports showcases sports history that is as relevant today as it was in past. We deliver the stars, stories, moments, and games that define the very essence of sports.
Touchdown! Take on hammer time!
Because when you celebrate the past, you embrace the future. Origin Sports. Run it back.
For Coach Nash, the Dunwoody football program really is a family affair. His wife and his daughter handle the water on the sidelines during the games. They also do the laundry. They pack the trailer. His son-in-law is the offensive line coach.
It's a family affair. Now, listen, he's really created a family environment around his football program. That's extended down into the youth program and whatnot. You won't find too many people saying a negative word about Coach Nash in that Dunwoody community. Clearly why he's been there for so long and so well respected.
2nd down and 9, and complete to Boden. Going to pick up a couple of yards on that. And
I think they've ruined it incomplete.
I guess they were going to say that he didn't have control going out of bounds.
Bobbling it.
You can see him. He's kind of got his palms up in the air saying, I don't know. I thought I caught it. So it's going to be 3rd down.
3rd and long. Pretty big play here for South Paulding. You're doing it. Your defense is hopefully doing exactly what you needed them to do coming off that first drive, is getting the ball right back to the offense.
So a good look at Coach Nash a few moments ago. 10th season with Dunwoody. They had 17 kids in the program his first year. 17 kids for the entire season.
It's amazing.
Yeah. That they survived it. 3rd down, pass is
timeout.
Timeout was called by Dunwoody before the play was run.
A little confusion offensively. And this is, you expect a little bit of this here, the first game of the season. Obviously, we saw some of this in the first half. There's a little bit of communication issues that, coaches and the players are working out here. And this is not unforeseen. You will see a lot more of this tonight in the games tomorrow, in the game Saturday, and into the first couple of weeks of the season. These are those kind of early season type things that these programs will still need to work out as they go deeper into the fall.
There you see South Paulding now in their 2nd season under head coach Maurice Allen. Pretty much all of his assistant coaches, his coordinators are former military, just like him.
Well, clearly, as you talk to him, you can hear some of the principles that he's brought down to the military into his program. He talked a lot about bringing that sense of discipline when he first showed up on campus last year, and the players almost didn't really know how to take to it. But and there's an adjustment. You go and trying to change a culture to a program, and sometimes it's not well received initially, but here they are, and they're going toe-to-toe with Dunwoody today, and you can feel his culture of his program coming out more and more.
So 3rd down and 9, and the pass is caught over here on the near sideline by Cordero at the 43-yard line, and that's a 1st down. He threaded the needle right there. Traffic.
Great throw. Really great throw by Matthew on that one. You'll see on the replay here, kind of knew where he was going with it and delivered a really good throw. And again, this is a baseball guy, so every time he steps back and throw, you just kind of admire how he's able to zip the ball right in there.
He gets all of his accolades in baseball, but Coach Nash says he is a football guy and is really shocked and surprised that he's received no football offers. My initial inclination was, our team's football program's scared away by the baseball.
It could be.
But he said no. He said that was not it. He said it's really a factor that teams just don't want to take quarterbacks they think they have to develop. They get them out of the transfer portal.
Yeah, and that's how college recruiting has changed a little bit. Now, look, he could put some tape on there this season and change his fortune a little bit. But, in addition to being a baseball guy, let's not lose sight here of his smarts. He's committed to Yale, which is an Ivy League school. I can tell you, Ivy League schools did not sniff Chris Millman by any means.
They don't accept dummies.
No.
That was Celestine, who's now in the game at running back. And now they have Aristorza in there at running back. So Aristorza gets the handoff. Nice strong run for Aristorza.
Good run.
Gets close to the 1st down.
Well, again, for those of you who may just be joining us here in the 2nd half, one of the things that we've talked about is South Paulding in particular. They have a great offensive line. Here on Dunwoody, offensive line was something that Coach Nash was a little bit concerned about. So let's see how they hold up here as we go into the 2nd half here from a conditioning standpoint as well as a physical standpoint.
It's 3rd down and 1, and Perch Gonna throw it and intercepted at the 22.
He would have liked to have that one back, unfortunately.
Wow.
That's one of his first big mistakes that I've seen today. He clearly, on the replay, you'll see here. Watch this.
Yeah, Zay Ford comes up with the interception. He's the guy who had the 9-yard touchdown reception for them in the first half.
So he was rushed a little bit. He came off his spot a little bit. He was outside the pocket. He was flushed to his right. Unfortunately, he just kind of zeroed in on his receiver there, and there was 3 defenders there in the area.
I think he wanted to run, and then that got cut off. He says, I'm going to improvise and throw it, and it turns out being an interception. So South Paulding takes over at the 37, run by Wigginton. Nothing doing as Wigginton gets stopped in his tracks. That was Resprich in on that tackle.
Oh, that's okay. Again, 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7, somewhere in that neighborhood. Run behind this big offensive line. You've got a couple of college prospects here on this O-line here for South Paulding. Let's utilize them.
2nd down, handoff goes to McCoy, and again it's Hesperich in on the tackle. Got help from Thompson on that play too.
Well, I think the Dunwoody defensive coaches must have heard me talking, because clearly they were ready for the run there on that 2nd down play.
So 3rd down coming up. South Paulding has yet to do anything with it since coming up with the interception. And remember, Perch threw just 3 of them last year. Wigginton under pressure, and they've got him, drive him into the ground back there at the 31-yard line. And another big play by the Dunwoody defense. Cole Camp comes up with a big play. He deflected a pass in the first half.
Well, I'll tell you, Dunwoody, I think, has made a couple of adjustments here defensively in the second half, because that's 2 drive now, 2 3-and-outs, and honestly, they've looked a little flustered on offense here for South Paulding here in the second half. Adjusting to what Dunwoody's doing on defense, there's been a little bit of confusion.
Four seconds, and they're going to take another timeout here to avoid the penalty.
There is some confusion on substitutions there. You can hear the coaches here in the box next door from South Paulding. Definitely a little bit of communication issues, whatnot, down there on the field for this punt unit.
Yeah, I think I might have just taken the penalty rather than burn a timeout there. So if critters are creeping in your attic, better call Breda Pest Management to get a highly trained expert to kick those critters out. Under the Breda Wildcat and Wildlife Guarantee, if any critters return, you're covered at no additional cost. Breda, they handle bugs and critters. So what do you think about that? Just take the penalty rather. To me, what's 5 yards here? That timeout might be a whole lot more valuable to you in the fourth quarter than losing 5 yards.
I think that makes sense. I think Coach Allen cannot stomach another penalty on his stat sheet for this game. So he said, I'm just going to go ahead and eat a timeout here in this situation. But definitely understand your perspective, Matt. I mean, right now, you know, those timeouts, you're in a 7-point ball game. That very well could be something that you're going to definitely need in your pocket come fourth quarter. But, you know, here we are halfway through the third quarter now, 7-point game. Dunwoody's going to get the ball back.
Yeah, so now you have 2 timeouts for the final 17 minutes of the game, and you're down a touchdown.
Yeah.
Snap goes back, and better kick this time. Fair catch is called for and made in traffic at the 39-yard line by Boden. They'll spot it at the 38. That's where Dunwoody's going to go on offense. We'll step aside. Wildcats back, snapping the ball when we get back.
Hey, does it matter if this leaks?
It don't matter to me. Can't see it from my house.
Illegal use of hands, improper training.
GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com has 14 different highly skilled trades with tuition-free training in our certified apprenticeship programs to train you the right way. Find your career at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com.
What happens after you graduate? Will you go to the next level? Will people have your back in the heat of the battle? Will you still train like a champion in pursuit of greatness? You will when you become an IBEW electrician. Join our team. Visit IBEW613.org.
Great teams are committed, focused on the details, and work hard to be their best. From practice to games, right down to their gear. Your field is a critical part of the game that allows your athletes to showcase their athletic abilities. Sports Turf is committed to bringing your team innovative sports surfaces with unparalleled performance. You bring the vision. Our team brings it to life.
The big seller was no student debt. That was a big thing for me. You work and make money while you're going to school. You learn on the job as well as in school. It's all around. You can't beat it. It's just a good feeling. It's you work with your hands. You did all that yourself, and it's paying off. And I'm not even through with school yet. You know, my career is just getting started. Looking back, it's a very incredible feeling.
That's number 2, Zay Ford for South Paulding with a touchdown reception and an interception today. Hudson Hill and Prince Avenue, they'll be coming up in the next game against West Forsyth.
Good physical run there, right up the gut there. I like that decision there on first down. Again, clearly this South Paulding defensive line, big, strong, showed they have the ability to really influence the game and impact it. You know, they're going to just go attack those guys, go right at them, and that's what they did there on that opening play here of the drive.
Handoff goes to Celestine, and Celestine up to the 47, going to be about a yard short. That was Adewale making the tackle for South Paulding.
I like that. They did that on actually back-to-back plays there. Now, we had an injury with Cranshaw, their starting running back. Haven't seen him back in there. Looks like they're kind of using a couple of the other backs now.
And they have Bradley Stevens back there now, lined up next to Perch. He'll get the handoff, and Stevens is going to be close to the first down. Looks like he's going to be short. Looks
close.
like with a spot, they're going to be about a foot short.
It's going to be decision time for Coach Nash here for Dunwoody, because it's fourth and about a foot.
I'm guessing, looking at Coach Nash, he's like thinking, if we can't get a foot
here at midfield.
Yeah.
Well, he is changing. He is bringing in.
They are going to bring in the punt. So they bring Jake Greenfield on the punt here. They think second about it.
Now he called a timeout. So he wants to think about it a little bit.
Now, to me, this is an appropriate timeout. This is a good place to call that timeout because
he's going to think about it.
This is a big decision to make right here. Do you go for the first down, pick up the first down, and you can kill the rest of the quarter potentially with a nice long drive, or do you give it back to them? So it's a big decision to make.
It is a big decision.
Here's a look at the rest of the schedule coming up here on Peachtree Sports Network. Doubleheader tomorrow at Hebron Christian, as Therrell will be the opponent. Then at Barron Stadium, Callaway versus Cass. I have Cass number 2 in my 4A rankings. I think they are set up for a great season. Then we've got the quadruple header on Saturday at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Chris, you and I will get back together for those first 2 games. Walton and Brookwood, Alpharetta and Houston County, then McEacher, North Gwinnett, Douglas County, and Cedar Grove in the back half of that quadruple header. So going for it here on 4th down. And the handoff goes to Celestine, and it's going to be close. They're right there on the line as they mark it.
He got it from the official on the far side of the field. He looks like he gave him a pretty good spot. I think based on where he's at that they got it. but it is awfully close.
Yeah, I think so too. Let's see. Let's see if they measure. They're going to measure.
They sure are.
Close enough to measure, but I agree. The near side official, the spot that it seems that he had him on looked like it was a first down, but it's close.
It is very close. Well, I'll give Coach Nash credit. You know, he being a bit aggressive here at midfield here with the 7-point lead midway through the third quarter. He said, "Guys, we're gonna try to muscle our way here for this first down." Now let's see what the chain gang has to say here.
So they're going to stretch that out, and they got it.
By the nose. By the nose of the football, Dunwoody gets a new set of downs. First down.
You know, they've got the chip now in the football and everything, but to me, that's one of the great dramatic moments in football is the old school bring the chain across the field and let's measure.
It is. Someday we might miss the chain gang.
Yeah, I think so. So 1st and 10 for Dunwoody at the 48-yard line.
That was a big first down for Dunwoody.
Yeah, it was a huge one. And it nearly intercepted. My goodness.
What a catch. What a catch.
And then Boden ends up with it. Stafford nearly had a pick six. Instead, Boden ends up making the catch.
Oh, my goodness. Look at this replay. Watch the catch, folks. Woo.
Wow, one-handed hauls it in.
Odell Beckham Jr. Wow, what a catch that was. It went from an almost looking pick six to catch of the game.
They actually lost a yard on the play. It was nearly intercepted by Stafford just right over his head. 2nd down and 11. Perch throws and broken up at the 50-yard line, going to Hamilton and broken up by James.
I can't quite tell on the throw if the receiver stopped when he should have kept running or if it was just an off throw there by Perch. I couldn't quite tell there.
So 3rd down and 11. Ball sitting on their own 47. The line to gain is the other 42.
Just be careful with the football if I'm the quarterback here.
Perch with a pocket to throw, guns it in there, and it's caught. And all the way down to the 31-yard line, Hamilton.
Now, when he has time like that, that's when the baseball throw really comes out to you.
He can throw a fastball.
He can throw a fastball, and he knew exactly where he was going with that football. Watch his look here. Boom. There it is. There's the heater.
Nicely done. 1st and 10, ball at the 31 for Dunwoody. They're up a touchdown as we approach 3 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Handoff, and Stevens gets submarined out here by Goins, and he picks up about 4 or 5 on the play, though.
Yeah, you can see why that 4th down earlier that they went for and got the first down was so big, because it gave them, again, a little bit of juice. And now look at them. They're on the other side of the field, scratching and clawing to try to take a 2-possession lead here in this game.
And another penalty here as Jaden Smith, the defensive tackle, jumps offside. Penalty number 12. Oof. 82 yards. They've cleaned it up.
Yeah, it's not nearly as bad here in the third quarter as it was in the first half, but still.
Yeah, they're not going to get away from an ugly total.
That is probably at least the 4th, maybe 5th offsides on the defensive line here in this game.
14th first down.
My goodness. Well, we know what the focus is going to be this week at practice for South Paulding.
Handoff goes to Celestine. Celestine gets stopped at the 18-yard line.
Now, we haven't talked about Celestine too much, but this was another guy that did jump off the tape a little bit this past week as you're watching this guy. Pretty thick, pretty strong for his size. Really like the way he's run here in the few carries that he's had today. But also as you watch some of the spring ball stuff, and he's been a good little player.
2nd down and 7. Celestine again hops in the hole, makes a cut, all the way down to the 10-yard line, and that's a first down. Well, they felt like Cranshaw and Celestine were kind of 1A, 1B.
Yeah, and the thing I've noticed with Celestine too is that he seems to be a little bit of an energy back for him in terms of he's going to bring a little bit of juice. Just watch the way he runs here on this replay. Boom, boom. You know, he gets up. He's got his offensive line pretty juiced up. You know, you love those types of players on your offense.
So first and goal to go now from the 10. Stevens now gets the rock. Stevens scores the touchdown for Dunwoody, and it's 20-7.
Well, that was a tremendous drive by Dunwoody. A lot of really good balance, a couple good throws there by Perch, the quarterback. But what I really liked was the balance they had on the running game. So that's now a two-score game with just over a minute to go here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and remember what we talked about early in the game, Chris. We talked about the heat and the fatigue. Who's going to still have gas in the tank at the end of the game? And it looked like they're starting to lean on that defensive line a little bit.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. And I think we might see more of that as we go in here to the fourth quarter.
21-7 with 1:17 to play here in the third quarter, and now a lot of pressure on South Paulding.
Oh, you got to like that. That was an 11-play drive with a whole lot of balance. Perch made a couple of good throws on that drive. Obviously, it was keyed by the big fourth down conversion that they got. But when you're putting together an 11-play drive, you're controlling the game. You're taking over the time of possession. Now you're up 2 touchdowns here as we march towards the end of the third quarter. South Paulding's got a little bit of their back against the wall now. You feel like they really need a score here coming out in this possession.
Yeah, Dunwoody now with 102 yards on the ground compared to just 39 for South Paulding and 219 total.
Yeah, and I really feel like when South Paulding has gone to the run game, they've had a little bit of success, but they just haven't been able to string it along pretty consistently.
High likelihood now that they can't get back to the running game. At least now the running game is going to have to be their change of pace and the surprise play.
Yeah, or you're going to see our friend Cade, the quarterback, who is going to use his legs, on these, pass plays that maybe don't work out the way they want to.
Tyler will not be able to return that as Lee, juiced up, pumps that one into the end zone. So South Paulding is going to have to bring the ball out to the 20.
The kicker's fun to watch here at Dunwoody. He came up short on that field goal earlier, but you can see the leg. I mean, he's putting the ball in the end zone here on kickoffs, and clearly on the field goals too. He's got the leg to really hit some long ones.
Coach Nash feels like he's got a future in the game, and said he doesn't even understand really how good he is.
Yeah,
it feels like he could be a college kicker. Kicker.
You could see it. You really could see it in the few opportunities had here today.
So 1st and 10, ball at the 20-yard line for South Paulding. Wigginton with a pocket, throws. It's complete at the 24.
Yeah, I think if I'm Coach Allen over here at South Paulding, it's important here on this possession. Let's get a little bit of tempo. Let's get a few positive plays going here, and really start getting Dunwoody a little bit more on their heels.
That was a second catch, 4-yard catch for Colin Edwards, his second reception of the game. Wigginton comes over to this side this time, and that's Weissman to the 30-yard line, and that will be close to a first down for Weissman.
Yeah, Weissman's a good-looking kid here. A little bit longer. I think he's more of a deep threat for them, but he's somebody that I know they think a lot about and really could have a good season for him this year. And you've seen him come up here and show up here today.
Yeah, 6'5", 175. They put some weight on him as well. Wigginton loads up and throws deep, and the receiver broke into the middle, and the ball went long. That's incomplete. Going there to Zay Ford, who had the touchdown catch for him earlier in the game.
So nice. Cade had a nice pocket there to throw the ball that time, but looked like him and the receiver just weren't on the same page.
Time for maybe 2 more plays in the quarter. 23 seconds left here in the third. 2nd down and 10 coming up. Wigginton 8 of 18 for 114, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And McCoy gets stopped right there at the line of scrimmage. Again, great pursuit by this Dunwoody defense. That was Preston Cooper who was there first at the point of attack. Might be the final play of the quarter right there. And it is. So that is the end of the third quarter. 12 minutes to play here at West Forsyth. Dunwoody with a 21-7 lead on South Paulding as we head to the fourth.
You ever seen this? You ever seen that? You ever seen the Harlem Globetrotters live on TV? Well, now's your chance. For the first time in 40 years, the Harlem Globetrotters are showing off their skills right in your living room. Don't miss a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and don't miss whatever they call that move. The Harlem Globetrotters, live Sunday at 7, only on Atlanta's own Peachtree TV. Yeah, baby.
Looking for a reason to try the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's? Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the price makes 5. That's everything you get with the new $5 meal deal at McDonald's.
It's hot at Matthews Kia of Cartersville, so we are having a hot sales event. We have great selections of 2024 and 2025 new vehicles. Lease the 2025 Kia Carnival LX, $429 for 24 months. The 2024 Kia Sportage LX, $289 for 24 months. Or the 2024 Kia Telluride S, just $379 for 24 months. Hurry, because prices are in your favor right now. Don't forget, Matthews Kia of Cartersville is home to the lifetime warranty. Come see us today. All roads lead to Matthews Kia of Cartersville.
The nation's hottest sport. See what the buzz is about on Peachtree Sports Network, where the Atlanta Dream look to eclipse the Connecticut Sun. Dream Sun, Sunday at 3 on Peachtree Sports Network.
Here's a good look at the Prince Avenue Wolverines over there warming up on the baseball field, getting ready for the next game, which will follow this one roughly 30 minutes between. As we head to the fourth quarter here in Dunwoody on top, 21-7. Prince Avenue will be playing the host West Forsyth Wolverines. Battle of Wolverines in our final game tonight. Third down here as we start the fourth quarter. Wigginton rolling to his right, got a block, throws, and it's complete for a first down.
That was huge. They needed that bad.
That was Zay Ford again. Isaiah Ford's had a big role in this game with a touchdown catch and interception. That's his third catch of the game.
Well, he's clearly showing somebody that might be a favorite target for our guy, Cade here. They need a few more of those.
So 1st and 10, ball at the 43. Wigginton going to run to the far side and step out of bounds at the 48. Now, there's still plenty of time here.
Oh, plenty of time.
For South Paulding.
Plenty of time.
They don't have to panic, abandon the game plan by any means.
No.
But they do have to keep moving the sticks.
No, agreed. And, you know, they're doing a good job here kind of mixing it up. Here's a running play.
McCoy scoots to the outside. He's going to fall forward and pick up the first down.
Very nice.
So that's back-to-back first downs for South Paulding to open up this fourth quarter.
They're going with some tempo here now. I mean, they're trying to keep Dunwoody on their heels a little bit, and I actually like this decision.
Yeah,
I think you're not doing it from a time standpoint.
Yeah.
You're doing it just to kind of more or less trying to wear these guys down.
McCoy with the run, another strong run down to the 38. Great point. This isn't because they feel like they have to speed up. They're speeding up to try to gain an advantage on the defense.
Yeah, and again, like we've talked about a few times here today, we had a 4:30 kickoff. It's still hot. Conditioning is going to be a real factor today. And, you know, this fourth quarter is probably going to come down to which team is in the better condition.
2nd down and 5. Wigginton steps up and runs out of the pocket and down to the 34-yard line, close to the first down.
Cade's not afraid. He's really not afraid to run the ball. But, man, that makes me nervous seeing him run like that. I mean, he is a bigger quarterback. You know, he has absolutely no problem using his legs. But
he's really thick and strong.
He is.
Lower body.
He is. But when you're running up the gut there and you're dealing with some of these linebackers or whatnot are getting a clean shot at your quarterback.
So it looks like we got a penalty here. They haven't moved the yard marker yet. So the flag has been waved off. And they're going to rule that he did get the first down. So 1st and 10. New set of downs here for South Paulding. They're putting something together here early in the 4th quarter. Heavy rush off the edge. Wigginton runs away from it, throws. It's complete at the 25. And that's Isaiah Zay Ford again with another big catch.
Nice. Well, again, using his legs, gets outside the pocket. You know, Cade did early on in this game. He's taken 3 sacks already, so he's taken a few hits. You know, they've confused him a few times coming off the edge, but scooting him outside there gives him a little opportunity here to make some plays with his arm or his legs.
1st and 10, ball at the 23. Wigginton with a nice pocket, throws for the end zone and over the hands of Patchen inside the 5.
Dangerous throw there. 2 defenders there in the vicinity. O-line did a pretty good job of giving him an opportunity to make a play downfield, but a little bit of a dangerous throw, a little close for my comfort there. They've had such a great drive here this time. Just don't make a costly mistake.
Yeah, I agree. I think taking the shot at the end zone right there in double coverage, no less, just kill drive momentum.
Correct.
Just keep doing what you're doing.
Which you feel like at this point in the game, down 2 possessions, 10 minutes left to go in the game, might be a deal breaker.
Wigginton complete to Ford again, and Ford's got the first down as he lunges forward.
Ford's catching it with some confidence.
Yeah, he's got 5 catches now in the game. He is the leading receiver for either team.
He's becoming a favorite target.
We are in the red zone presented by IBEW Local 613.
Trying to get a substitution off late. They just did just in time. Avoided a too many men on the field.
Ball goes to McCoy, and he runs it inside the 10. The South Paulding coaches off to our right were yelling, snap the ball to get that substitution penalty. They didn't do it in time.
Missed it by just a second.
Second down.
You know, they're inside the 10 here, Matt, but they still have an ability for a first down.
Yep, it's 2nd and 7. Run by Wigginton, and he gets stopped at the 6. And that was Trevor Thomspon again as he goes over double digits tackles in the game.
He's showing up here today. Again, like we've talked about, he has put himself together quite the stat sheet day.
Yeah,
for his season opener.
He's around 12 tackles, 2 sacks, 4.5 TFL, clock running, under 9 to go, and now it's 3rd down and 4 with the ball sitting on the 6. Wigginton, keeper, throws, and right there at the goal line, couldn't come up with it.
I mean,
had his man
wide open. Wide open.
That hurts.
Decision time. 4th down.
That's Jeremiah Huey, who's been playing defensive end. They run him out there for an offensive play and can't connect right here. He's open. Hit him in the worst hands. Worst part.
If I'm Coach Allen, I'm laying in bed tonight thinking about that play.
Yeah, so is Jeremiah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, 4th down, they're going for it, clearly.
Got to go for it on 4th and 4, down 2 touchdowns. Wigginton running a fade and a jump ball. What a catch. No, in and out of his hands. Ford made a catch like that in the first half. Can't come up with it here in the second half, and the ball goes over on downs.
I like the play call. I like the execution up until the point where he just didn't come down with the ball. Look at the replay here. Goes up for it, had it, and just dropped it.
You know, Chase Casey, the corner, he might have been able to get his fingertips in there.
He might have just,
when he high pointed the ball. If you see that replay again, he kind of flicks his hands in there, and he might have tipped it just enough to make him lose control.
Basic combat training is a 10-week experience that will challenge you both physically and mentally. Each phase of your training will introduce you to new soldier skills, building and advancing them along the way. You and your fellow soldiers will work as a team to accomplish each mission, overcome each obstacle, and earn the right to wear the black beret of an Army National Guard soldier.
We saw some squirrels were trying to get into the attic. I hear those squirrels still scampering through because I didn't go through those services initially.
Our job is to go up there and figure out where they're getting in and trap and remove and get those unwanted guests out. But then the next big step is not just seal the entry point where the critter got in, but seal the entire roof line. The most common mistake is only sealing the entry point you see.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Careers in the sheet metal industry are not only lucrative and rewarding, but also highly technical. Our industry includes the use of AutoCAD, BIM, robotics, and virtual reality. Apprentices acquire skills that are in high demand and are essential to the development of the modern world. These technical skills will establish your career now and for decades into the future. Learn more about opportunities in the sheet metal industry today by visiting our website at careersinsheetmetal.com.
Planting season is here, and it's time to give your yard the perfect touch from the professionals at Personal Touch Lawn Care. Why Personal Touch? Courteous service, attention to detail, and a desire to give you the best lawn in your neighborhood.
They have the knowledge and skills to do anything that I would need.
Call now for a 25% discount on design and consultation services.
Big enough to serve you, small enough to know you.
Personal Touch Lawn Care, 770-908-1238, or online at ptlcatlanta.com.
Back incoming Georgia, 21-7, Dunwoody on top. They just got a turnover on downs, and now they take over offensively at the 5-yard line. Matt Stewart, Chris Millman with you. We've got Prince Avenue and West Forsyth still to come here in the second game of our doubleheader. And now you can expect a steady dose of running the ball, I think, right here. Just try to burn some clock as you got a 2-touchdown lead and let the clock be your friend.
If I'm South Paulding here now, you got to get the ball back immediately to have any, type of shot of still staying in this game. But I'll tell you, those last two plays that they had the ball there on offense, you had the open man,
the
missed throw, on third down
here,
in the corner, and then the fade route where the receiver just couldn't come down with the ball. Those two plays will keep you up at night tonight if you're part of the South Paulding faithful.
Perch going to throw it. Nope. Instead, he's going to run it and step out of bounds at the 10-yard line. The only thing he did wrong there was step out of bounds.
That's correct.
Take a slide.
Take a slide. Go down in bounds. I mean, there's still a lot of time. We're at 7 minutes, 45 seconds left. Third and about 6, 7. Third and 6.
Yeah, but not sliding there, going down inbounds as opposed to stepping out of bounds. They could have burned another 30 seconds.
Yeah, easily.
Got to have clock awareness. I know it's a season opener.
That'll be a teachable moment this week for Coach Nash with his football team. But a big stop here needed for South Paulding.
3rd down and 6. Perch loads up and goes deep, and it's broken up at the 44-yard line. Jermaine Tyler separates Porter Allison from the ball, and now Dunwoody has to punt from the back of the end zone.
They're deep. They are deep back there. So listen, Coach Allen over here at South Paulding, you couldn't ask more for your defense. You're getting the ball back to your offense. You had some great momentum there on the last time you had it. That's exactly what you needed to still have a shot here at this game.
So Jude Torjak is going to punt.
Again, 2 plays in a row here for Dunwoody where the clock stopped.
Yep.
So
could have burned another minute. Wobbly kick's going to hit at the 37 and bounce to Tyler. He's going to try to return it, and Tyler down to the 39-yard line. So not great clock management by Dunwoody there. Had they been a little bit more judicious in their play calling, get down, not throw the ball. Instead of it being 7:26, it might be more like 6:26 left in the game.
Yeah, and I think that this week, again, we talked about teachable moments. There's going to be plenty from this game for both teams that they can use with their coaching staff and their team here this upcoming week and the weeks to come. But, that's something that if I'm Coach Nash, I'm taking back to my coaching staff this week and saying, hey, how can we manage these situations a bit better?
Well, coaches say the most improvement comes from week 1 to week 2. So 1st and 10, ball at the 39, timeout called by Dunwoody.
Wow.
So we'll step aside as they take the timeout with 7:26 to play.
Welcome to Georgia High School Heroes, presented by Ingalls. I'm Chris Bainbridge, and this season we're counting down the 10 best football players in Georgia high school history. And we're starting things off at number 10. A player who went on to great acclaim in the NFL as a receiver, Sterling Sharp played practically every position but wideout when he played for Glenville High School in southeast Georgia. As a Bulldog, he played running back, quarterback, and linebacker from 1980 to 1984. In his 1982 season, he amassed 1,250 yards by himself. Sharp also played basketball and participated in track, where he held the Class A state long jump record with a leap of 23 feet 7 inches. He went on to play football at South Carolina, and his number 2 jersey is now retired after his incredible run as a Gamecock. He continued to impress in the NFL and resides in the Green Bay Packer Hall of Fame. Thanks for watching Georgia High School Heroes, presented by Ingalls.
Set the record. The biggest WNBA game in Atlanta history. The Atlanta Dream look to even the score against Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Get your tickets to the biggest dream game of the year and see why the WNBA is taking the nation by storm. Don't be left out when State Farm sells out. Monday, August 26th. Grab the hottest ticket in town now at dream.wnba.com.
Make yourself known now.
83-1001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
So back 1st and 10 for South Paulding, ball at the 39 of Dunwoody. Wigginton straight drop back, goes for the home run, and incomplete, looking for Patchen inside the 5.
Coach Allen said we're not wasting any time here. If we're going to make a run, we need 2 scores. We're going to take a few shots, and that's what they did there on that first down play.
Patchen transferred in from Carrollton last year. He'd suffered a torn labrum when he was playing for the Trojans, so didn't get a chance to play last year, getting his first chance to get back in uniform this season.
Well, they got great field position here. I mean, again, they took a shot there at the end zone. There is 7 minutes and 19 seconds left, so, you know, not a ton of time, but there's still enough to do some damage here.
Sure. Yeah, by no means is the door closed on them yet. 2nd down, Wigginton on a crossing route, batted down by Thompson. He was all up in his face and batted down that pass. What a game by Trevor Thomspon.
Another big play for him. Just add it to the highlight reel for today.
That's going to look good on huddle for him, man.
What a day for him.
3rd down.
3rd and long. Big one.
Wigginton going to run it and get stuck at the 38-yard line. Closed down quickly.
Well, clock's running. 4th down. You're obviously going to go for it here.
Yeah, that was Preston Cooper who closed it down quickly. He had dropped into pass coverage, but then broke off at that when Wigginton started to run.
Badly need this one. The Dunwoody faithful starting to get a little loud here in the stands.
4th down, play action. Wigginton going to run, directing traffic, throws it up for grabs, and it's incomplete at the 10.
No flag. No flags on the field. That's going to be a turnover on downs. And it looks like Cade was a little indecisive. Do I run it and take the chance? Do I throw it, let my receiver try to make a play? And that's what he did there. He threw it up. Was hoping one of his big guys could come down for it, and just did not.
And look at Chase Casey, the corner, number 18, high pointed the ball and just batted it down. Didn't try to catch it. Just come down, just bat it down, and we'll take over at the line of scrimmage, which is the 38. And now South Paulding backs to the wall. Let's see if Dunwoody does a better job of managing the clock here. Just spurn some clock here.
So a little bit almost kind of we're at 6 minutes, 31 seconds. It's a little bit of 4-minute drill here, even though there's 6 minutes left. Can they control the tempo here, run some time off the clock?
Celestine with the run up to the 46-yard line. And looks like Quartararo is hurt on the play.
Well, that's Celestine. Again, he's getting more of an opportunity here now. He's had a couple of really nice carries here today. Somebody who can help, take this game over here in the final few minutes.
Yeah, it's turned into a nice rushing day for them. 114 yards on the ground. Let's see, looks like this might be hopefully it's a cramp situation, but I don't know. They're not extending that leg out typically as you see when there is a cramp. So 6:18 to play in this one. No matter the season, no matter your pest issue, Breda Pest Management will protect your home inside and out from bugs, termites, wildlife, and mosquitoes. Breda is proud to be a sponsor of Georgia High School Athletics. Get started at BredaPest.com today. So they're still working on Quartararo. Saw his dad sitting down in the stands. He was an early arrival here at the stadium today. He was watching him go through the warm-ups. Max, his son, who was a senior wide receiver, is down on the field right now. Also has a younger son, Jack, who is the backup quarterback to Matt Perch.
Well, obviously the kids are really excited about the season opener, but the parents are just as excited too.
Yeah.
They know what their kids have been putting in here over the summer, over the spring, and whatnot to get ready for these, these seasons that demand so much of them. Obviously excited to see them hit the field here tonight.
So Max is able to walk off the field under his own power, which is a good sign, but probably seen his last action of the day. Going to walk into the 10, it looks like. So second down coming up here for Dunwoody. Second down and 4, or maybe 3. And Celestine, strong run, first down to the 45.
I continue to be impressed with Celestine. I love his energy. I love his ability to not be afraid as kind of a smaller back. He is nowhere by any means afraid to run in between the tackles. He's shown that today and every time he's touched the football.
Well, Cranshaw, 58 yards rushing. And of course, he went to the tent earlier with an injury. Don't know the extent of that. But now Celestine has 55 yards rushing in the game.
Well, Coach Nash definitely has his offense here. Being smart, taking plenty of time off the clock here as they try to wind this thing down.
But I like the combination. Eager to see them play as they get ready for region play. They're playing in 5A this year, Region 4 5A, after playing in 6A a year ago. Of course, we've had contraction of classes in the state of Georgia, so there was some movement within the classes. Dunwoody going from 6 to 5. South Paulding also went from 6 to 5. Second down and 7. Right up the middle, there is Stevens, a bull run, still carrying guys all the way down to the 24.
Wow. Well, their physicality is showing up here, and then you also have to wonder, how South Paulding conditioning level here is holding up as we get into the late stages here of this game.
It's amazing how your conditioning is better when you have the lead than when you don't.
Oh, 100%. 100%. You're seeing that right now where, again, we brought this up at a few occasions here today. Coach Nash was a bit worried about his offensive line coming into this game. How are they going to hold up?
Got off to a slow start.
You really saw that the South Paulding defensive line was going to be a force to be reckoned with here in this game. But little by little, this offensive line is held up pretty well.
4 minutes to play. Celestine gets the ball again. Short gain. They're happy with that because it burns the clock.
Tyrone Pitts here on this 72 on South Paulding. We've called his name a few times today.
Yeah, he's had an active game. He has.
He's been quite active there, on the defensive trenches.
Second down and 8. Still 20 seconds left on that play clock, so they can burn that thing down to around 3:15 before they snap it again. Taking their time at the line of scrimmage, and a 21-7 lead. Stevens runs to the outside, and Stevens down to the 18-yard line. Another first down. They're about one first down away from putting this one away.
Well, there is a flag here on this one. It looks like it's around the line of scrimmage, so I'm going to guess that's probably a hold.
And it is a hold. But what an extraordinary turnaround and job done by Coach Mike Nash with this Dunwoody program. They had not had a winning season since 2011. They had not made the playoffs since 2009. And last year they won 8 games, which was the most they had won since 2008 when they went to the quarterfinals.
Complete culture change. And clearly you can see his fingerprints up and down on the high school program, even all the way down to the youth level now. And there's not many programs that are more engaged in the community than this Dunwoody program, and you can definitely see it with the amount of relationships and whatnot that Coach Nash has.
Second down and long. They give the ball back to Stevens, and Stevens gets most of it right back down to the 20. But you hit the nail on the head. Last year's team that went 8-3 and got to the playoffs for the first time in over close to 15 years was the first one that was from the junior program. They didn't have a feeder program. They didn't have a junior program when he got there. And that was one of the first things he did. He played in the Gwinnett Football League when he was a kid. And he said, we've got to get something like the Gwinnett Football League in our program. That's what we need. And so last year's seniors were the first ones to come through the J Wildcats, the junior Wildcats.
And it's translated to success. I mean, clearly he's taken, what he learned over there in Gwinnett County and brought it to Dunwoody, and he's reaped the rewards.
Let's take a look at our play of the game. It's presented by England and Stubbs. It is the 20-yard touchdown run by Cranshaw in the first half.
The razzle-dazzle. The razzle-dazzle play of the game.
Malachi Cranshaw with the 20-yard touchdown run on the reverse. As it appears Dunwoody's going to win their season opener here today.
Yeah, and that play was at a pivotal time in this game, too. I mean, the play design and all that is one thing, which was great, fantastic. But the time in which it happened there in the first half was a time when Dunwoody really, really needed it. And it was the perfect play call at the right time.
So they'll be playing at Pope next Friday night. And their region opener comes up against Tri-Cities when they host them at North DeKalb Stadium. That'll be their first home game of the season, too. Comes in mid-September.
So third down here at the 3-minute mark. So do you run?
I would be running the ball. And they are running the ball. Celestine, nope. Okay. RPO, and Perch just slid down.
So he is bringing out his golden leg, it looks like.
Yeah. So this will be looks like this is going to be close to a 42 from the right hash, just short on a 48-yard attempt in the first half.
Which would have been good from this distance.
Yes.
The kick that he had earlier that he missed. I mean, it was dead on. It was just, a yard or two short.
Yes. Allison is the holder, and the kick is on its way, and the kick is good. 42-yard field goal for Christian Lee. Icing on the cake. It's 24-7.
What a great kick. He will be fun to watch here the rest of this season, to watch his success.
Here's our electrifying play of the second half, presented by IBEW Local 613, and that effectively puts the game out of reach, because now you need 3 scores. You can't score twice and get 2 two-point conversions. It's now out of reach of that.
24-7. You only have 1 timeout left if you're South Paulding. Unfortunately, you're in deep trouble here at this point. And so you get to this point of the game where the game's out of reach. Let's not have any injuries here at this point.
So 24-7, Dunwoody. Impressive performance here today. And, reflecting back on it, and not to harp on it, but I think in retrospect, it's just going to be a huge storyline for this team going forward in this next week of practice. Is South Paulding had the chance to grab momentum in this game, grab a lead in this game, and they didn't, because they committed, 9-10 penalties in the first half.
Yeah. Obviously, anytime you lose, you're disappointed. But if I'm Coach Allen, going into next week, there were a lot of positives here today. And clearly, the talent level showed up. This team has some talent. They just got to clean up some stuff, which a lot of teams are going to have to do. And a lot of the good news is, too, a lot of these things where they had misfortune, a lot of them are correctable. I mean, they can easily fix some of these things. It might take a couple of weeks or whatnot to clean it all up, but listen, if I've seen South Paulding on my schedule later in the season, I'm not exactly happy about that, because this will be a tough team as we get on later in the year.
Well, 2 minutes left in this one, and a 17-point lead for Dunwoody as South Paulding comes back out on offense for perhaps the final time today. Stick around. Coming up next, we've got Prince Avenue and West Forsyth. Very interesting ball game with Prince Avenue, 2-time state champions 3 of the last 4 years. Wigginton goes up top for Patchen, and Patchen can't come up with it.
A flea flicker.
Yeah.
And that was interesting. I mean, I guess you got to try to score any way you can. But listen, if you're Dunwoody and you're a defensive back, at this point in the game, just don't let anybody get behind you.
Yeah, I'm not thinking that they're catching Dunwoody off guard. They're thinking they're going to run.
So. Yeah, just backpedal.
There is the run, and there is the stop right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it looks like they're not going to use their last timeout.
Well, South Paulding will be on the road again next week at Altoona. And then their home opener comes up the first Friday night of September against a very good North Paulding program.
Bit of a county rivalry game. That ought to be pretty good.
3rd down. Now Wigginton will throw. And it's caught. Weissman making the catch at the 29. And it's going to be 4th down.
The clock continues to move. We're about at a minute here left to go in the game.
So 4th and 2, maybe the final meaningful play of this game. Wigginton going to load up and go deep with it to Patchen, and Patchen can't haul it in with one hand. And it's going to be 4th down. And now it's going to be 1st down as the ball goes over on downs.
Coach Nash. Well, listen, that was a really competitive game. Obviously, the wheels came off a little bit there towards the end of the game there for South Paulding. But we got to, for those of you that joined us at home, you enjoyed some good high school football in the state of Georgia here.
No doubt. You saw Ryan Gentry, the DC, former Dunwoody Wildcat himself, come out there hugging his defense, and they came off the field. What a job by them today. So take a look at the schedule. Friday, 2 games at Hebron Christian and 1 at Rome, as Perch takes a knee, and that's going to do it. Dunwoody starts off 1-0. South Paulding 0-1. Perch, not a great game statistically. 11 of 27 for 117, 1 touchdown, and an interception.
Yeah, he'll learn from some of this. I mean, we saw the talent today, though. We saw the arm strength and whatnot. There was some good, and there was some not so good, and ones he'd like to have back. But listen, it's the season opener.
Yeah, the huge story for Dunwoody is their defense, as they hold South Paulding to 226 yards, just 71 yards rushing, and a stellar defensive performance by the young man who, regardless, offense or defense, I thought was the player of the game overall, and that was Trevor Thomspon. 14 total tackles, 11 solo, 2 sacks, 4.5 TFL, and an interception. That's a line score.
He was the man today. You watch the replay of this game, you're going to see how much he showed up today, and we didn't even call his name as much as we could have today. He's going to be a force to deal with this fall for a lot of teams here in this region.
Well, Coach Nash gave us the heads up on him. Remember, he said he's that kind of guy. He'll run through your soul, and he did that today to South Paulding.
What a description. And when he said it, I laughed. But after seeing what I saw today, I can see how he got to that conclusion.
And the other big story offensively for Dunwoody was not necessarily Perch, but it was the ground game, as they rushed for 147 on 37 attempts. Celestine ends up their leading rusher with 60 total yards. Cranshaw, who left pretty much at halftime early in the third quarter with an injury, 58 yards. And then Bradley Stephen came in there. He was kind of cleanup duty. Let's put the battering ram in there, run over the defense, and kill the clock. He finished with 44 yards.
Yeah, their depth really showed up at the running back position here today. Obviously we got to hope for the best for Cranshaw and see kind of how he got through with the injury he sustained here in this game. But if I'm coach here at Dunwoody, Coach Nash, I'm happy with what I saw from a lot of the guys we threw out there today.
Let's send it down to Najee Wilkins with the coach's interview.
Welcome back to the post-game show presented by Zaxby's with the winning coaches interview. Head coach Mike Nash going to present this to you, Coach, on behalf of Corky Kell Classic. So, Coach, of course, sir, what's your thoughts on the game? What's your biggest takeaways after winning that game?
Man, I'm just proud of these kids. They've come they've come a long way, and these seniors are dedicated as heck. They're the best group we've had, and I'm proud of them. And they played their tail off tonight, and we could actually run the football tonight, so that was pretty daggone good.
Let's talk about the running game. 152 yards. How were you able to accomplish that? You leaned on a couple of guys, and they did their thing tonight.
Well, we really got 4 guys that we feel can tote the rock, and I think it helped because it kept us fresh. We were able to roll some fresh guys in there, but also our offensive line, we struggled there at the beginning, man. It was ugly, but they got it figured out. But I'll be honest with you, man, I'm going to give it to the daggum defense on this one, brother. They were lights out again.
And that's what I wanted to do. That was my next point as a final question to you, Coach. Talk about this defense. No second half touchdowns, only 7 points in this game. Talk about their effort tonight.
Man, their effort was phenomenal. They did a great job. We had a bunch of kids out hurt last week, and they came back this week and gutted it out. And I got to call one out to Trevor Thomspon. He was all over daggum field tonight.
And now we're with quarterback Matt Perch. This is the Robbie Hunter MVP Award presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. We're going to have Walt Peterson present the award. Congratulations. All right, Matt, so walk me through that play, man. Tell me about the connection between you and Danny Boden. You hit him on a nice route right there. Talk about the connection between you two guys.
I said this at the Corky Kell luncheon about a month ago. We've been playing together. A lot of us have been playing together since we were 5, 6, 7. We've had that chemistry for so long. It comes natural.
And then for you, man, what was your favorite thing being out there tonight with you guys, getting this win and just gutting it out?
Honestly, I just give everything to the defense. Every time we needed to stop, they gave it to us. They supported us throughout the whole game. Honestly, I don't even think we had our best performance, but the defense stepped up every time we needed them to.
Last question. What can you take from this game to continue to build on what you guys want to accomplish? First time making the playoffs last year since 2010. How can you build from this game?
It's just a start. We're here to change the culture. I feel like before this year, our goal has been to make the playoffs. Now we want to change that culture. Our goal should be 2nd, 3rd round, 4th round even, So we're just here to change the culture around the program.
Certainly. Well, guys, that's all the time we got. Congrats to the Dunwoody Wildcats. We're going to toss it to break.
Introducing Zaxby's new chicken finger tacos. One with pico and creamy chipotle ranch, and the other with bacon and avocado ranch. Chicken experts since 1990. Taco experts since now. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
A journeyman with Local 85, when you turn out, you can be hitting six figures.
Hey, I have your back, you have my back. We're going to do this together. We're one for all for one.
College just wasn't for me. Let's look into actual career jobs that wouldn't take college, where I wouldn't, lose money and all that, instead of losing a lot more.